Happy Friday, everybody. Oh, it's the end of the week, except for some of you. I think some people, this is like the beginning of their week, right? Like, because they're just like degenerates. The other day, like 4 days of just like doing crack. I love all our people here. Good morning, Kish, everyone there. But I would think that we have, I wouldn't say exclusive, I do drugs worse than weed audience, but I would say I think most of them, their whole weekend is just drugs. So then they need like 3 days of not working and living with their mother to recover.
I
Good
see.
morning,
I feel
Bobby.
good morning, Pat. See, I feel like a lot of our fans are just big drinkers.
Oh, okay. Because the way they spell in the thing, in the comments, I feel like cracks involved.
I haven't had to cough all morning out of the blue. The minute you hit play, my bad. But
Maybe you're
I
allergic to
think you're right.
lying about our fans' problems and addictions. Maybe that's what you're
I
doing. You're coughing because you're lying.
I mean that's definitely possible.
Okay.
A lot of our fans remind me of my buddy Mike, who would make it through his 9 to 5 Monday through Friday completely sober. But the minute he left work on Friday, he would drink until he left to return on Monday. Like he would from Friday through Monday, he was drinking Miller nonstop.
Oh, Kish, commas are very important, Kish, because you want to have a comma after drinker. Because I'm a night drinker, boys. Like, first of all, you're not two boys. I am night drinker, boys. During the day, mild mannered Kish. At night, I am a pair of children who have an alcohol problem. That is fun. I am fucking exhausted. How are you this morning?
I'm also kind of tired, but I'm living the dream, hanging in there. Big show
Yeah,
tonight with Manny and Earl.
Manny and Earl, who we've had on the show. Manny, not Earl. Earl David Reed of Three Name fame and tremendous comedian, fellow guy who works for the radio but also does comedy. So I appreciate that man and what he does. And Manny, new father, hilarious guy, and skateboard comic book. Yeah, I swear to God, I actually got laid and made a baby, but my paper and resume says I don't. Oh yeah, and I juggle Santiago.
Yeah, and he's going to be at the warehouse casino with Earl and I tonight. Earl, who I think really just wanted the he has an opening song to be played, and he asked if I could put it on a USB for him. So I think that's the main reason I got booked tonight was I had the ability to rip something from YouTube and put it on a flash drive.
Hey, you bring whatever you can bring to the table to get on there. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I saw last night. I was at the casino, and then so we do the 10 o'clock show, and the 8 o'clock show on Thursday is the beginning of the national headliner for the weekend. And the national headliner was Red Grant. Are you familiar with Red Grant?
The name sounds familiar, but I can't say I know him.
He's a very light-skinned black guy with red hair. If you saw him, you go, "Oh, I've seen you in things where Cat Williams was around or stuff like that." He opens for Cat, shit like that. You know what I mean? You know the face from like, like when you see a thumbnail, it's like 18 black people you never heard of made fun of Shaquille O'Neal at a roast. You're like, I think Red Grant's on it. You know what I mean? One of those things. It's like, Plastic Cup Boys. That's not them, but it's the Dixie Cup Friends or whatever. Like it's whatever. Like the black universe, the one that Gary Owen guy, people know who he is. Like when you say to white people, for real, who's Gary Owen? They're like, is he a politician? You say to black people, they go, he's the funniest white man ever in the history of the world. You know what I mean?
So, and he did not leave his black wife for a white woman, like was in the press, Pat.
First of all, I don't think any white people would say either the press and Gary Owen. But what I'm saying is, when you mentioned about that, the opening act for Red Grant, which looked like he looked like a worse off Donnell Rawling, if that's a thing. But I guess he's there mostly. He's opening for him and their friends, but he's there to like be in charge of video and promotion and all that kind of stuff for Red.
Yeah,
which makes sense. You're doing more than one thing. You're carrying wearing many different hats. You know what I mean? And good morning, Gooch. What's up, dude? Yeah, we've been busy, but thanks for being in Chicago there, the Gooch. I like just saying the Gooch. The Gooch was the name of the guy that bullied Arnold and Dudley in Different Strokes. They never showed him. They'd always like, oh, no, the Gooch. And that was like the name they always used. I said school,
was
then the Gooch got me.
Just a giant sexual innuendo?
Yeah.
I mean, it's called Different Strokes. The fucking Gooch is bullying him. That one dude got molested for a bicycle at one point.
Yeah, the older white sister, Dana Plato, ended up being in Playboy before she killed herself on drugs. Like, Dude, that show had
The
a lot of
American
crazy
Dream.
shit going on. Like, it was nuts. The
Sorry, so Donnell.
no, not at all. So I'm saying is that guy was there. That guy was there to help take care of him. So I get that whole opening thing. But when I was running a there's a contest there, and so I was the host of that kind of thing, and it's fun. Our guest is going to be on in a couple minutes. He's actually made to the finals of this contest that our old friend Frank Regala put together, where they get to win. Like, it's kind of cool for a young comic. It's not like a performing thing, but they get to win this basically cool, like, living a weekend in New York City type thing. You get to go see Sebastian Maniscalco. You get to go have a fucking awesome New York dinner at one of those Italian places that Frank pretends like he's in the mob at, and all that kind of shit. So they moving on to the contest there, and there was this one dude. What the fuck? His name's like Joseph something. He's like Joseph Sadlier, and he's just he looks like the father. I mean, not the father. The guy from Up, like the Pixar thing. The guy with the glasses, but like when he was younger with the black hair, right? And he had a Patriot shirt on, and I'm talking to everybody else at the show. I'm like, hey, here's the rules of the contest. Frank's not there, so I don't care. I'm just trying to help. And I'm like, I don't really run it. I keep telling them that. They're like, so Pat, if my person, one of my bringer people doesn't have ID, I'm like, guys, I don't work at the club. I am the comedian like you guys. I'm just telling you what the contest thing is. If you want to buy a drink or function like a human, you do what you do and talk to people that own this place. You know what I mean? They're like, okay, great. Pat, when the videos come out, how do we get edited? I'm like, I don't fucking know shit. Like, that's also the whole contest the whole time. And I'm dealing with all that. I usually like to show the comics before the show, the green room, but I couldn't because Red Grant and fake Donnell Rawling were back there deciding they wanted to sit in that room as long as they could until we had to have the room. And Red wanted to hang back there, and I guess it's his brothers. They do karaoke in the other room. He was going to do a karaoke song, but he didn't want to come do karaoke until he came out, of the room. He wanted to hang out in there until he did his song. So I have all these guys in the back. I'd rather move them around, but I can't, whatever. But the Up guy is like, everyone else is like, Pat, this, screaming, whatever. And then I'm like, the Joseph guy's going, Pat, I just want to thank you very much for the opportunity. It's wonderful to be here. It's great. So I go, okay, man, thanks, Joe. And a second later, it's like, hey, Joe. He's like, yes, Pat. I'm sorry, Pat. What's up, Pat? I'm like, almost like he'd been beaten a million times. And I'm like, no, dude, fucking relax. And he's like, all right, sir. Yes, sir. And I'm like, I go, let me show you to the back room quick. He's like, all right, I'd love to see that, sir. This whole fucking thing. So I'm like, what the fuck's with this guy? So I bring him to the back. I'm running back and forth. I'm hosting the show. I'm doing my time. We got a guest guy. I'm bringing the comics up. He's there now. I'm like, if you need a bathroom, it's over there. Water's there. I point to you've been in the green room. I point to where one thing is. I point to the other. I'll be back in a couple of minutes. Then you tell me whatever shit name you want to be called. Because a lot of them are like, I'm like, one guy last night was named like Frank Von, and he goes, "Could you call me the Mad Chef?"
No.
I'm like, all right, man. I can call you the Mad Chef. And he goes, I go, so you're not Frank Vaughn. And he goes, I am Frank Vaughn. I go, no, I know. Yeah, asshole. I mean, like, so I'm not saying the Mad Chef Frank Vaughn. He goes, no, say the Mad Chef Frank Vaughn. I go, so I'm saying the Mad Chef Frank Vaughn. And he goes, yeah. He goes, oh shit, fuck, I forgot one part. I go, there's another part. And he goes, I'm the Mad Chef of comedy, Frank Vaughn. I think they'll know that part. I think they'll know it's of comedy.
I don't want to ruin the story, but I'm going to go out on a limb and say they may have needed to hear of comedy after, if you have a name like the Mad Chef, they may have needed to know that.
Well, it's a good thing he wasn't the funny comedian of comedy. Like that would have been a bad sell. But whatever, they're doing it. So but they're all being crazy, and this guy, the fucking what up, Matt? This guy is like, yes, sir. So I bring him on stage, and I go as I'm closing the door. I hear, what's going on? And then, dude, the guy just goes into like this Chris Farley-esque, but not stealing it, but like that kind of man down by the river screaming. And he's going, I'm just brainstorming here. He's got like catchphrases, and he's yelling out shit. And he's going, fucker. And I was like, yo. So I go back on stage after, and I'm just dying. And the crowd's laughing because he did do well. It wasn't like yelling bad. There was jokes. It wasn't killer, but it was so out of left field. So then I just go up and I'm like, yo, you guys, and I explained to the audience what I said to you. This guy was like, hello, sir. He goes, then you see that shit. They're all laughing. And I'm like, that's a serial killer. I know we're supposed to wait till the contest is over, but that guy advances, okay? We move that guy on. I don't want to be in the fucking news. That guy moves on in the contest. And then next is there's this black guy who's been in the contest, and he does. And I said this to the audience. I was like, he's a black guy who I think does black voice because he talks. He's like, "Hey, what's going on?" He has a regular voice, and he goes on stage. He goes, "You know, everybody, how about it?" And he's doing like this exasperated foghorn language, and he sings like Bon Jovi, and he sounds like Bon Jovi as a black guy. I'm like, all right, I think we're all having a fever dream. I think there's some 70 or 80 people here, and we're all having the same stroke. I don't know what we've watched for the last 10
you're
minutes.
having different strokes.
But I did, yeah, but I'm gooch. But but it was a fun night. Those two guys moved on. Another kid, Tim Bristol, moved on. And then our guest today, Jeff, he advanced a couple weeks ago, and he'll be on in a minute or so. But I'm exhausted from all that, whatever the fuck that was. But was talking to everybody at the club, and they're all excited about August 8th through 10th, the whole weekend, where you and I will be there at the club. So, well, the link will be up by next week. We'll have it up in the thing and everything, on the link and everything. But comes to that show, man. It's gonna be fun. I ran a lot of the new shit. I'm very happy with things are going. I finally figured out what the closer is, and I'm very happy with it. It's gonna be a very, like my other one, it's gonna be a very fun thing to be saying at the end, and it's gonna be a touch controversial, but I'm having fun with it, and it's working so far, even for the people that are like, whatever. But August 8th through 10th, Comics Roadhouse at Mohegan Sun. One show Thursday, one show Friday, two shows Saturday, recording the album and everything like that. And then Bobby will be open for me. We're going to be there all weekend, so make sure, make plans, take a day off, come hang out with us at the casino. We'll be around there the whole freaking time. So, yeah, so it's going to be good. I'm looking forward to all that kind of shit. Anything else you want to bring up or say anything? Any housekeeping things, any updates, any things like that before we get to our boy?
Do you think we should do our Charlotte the Stingray news before we bring him on, or should we have him for it?
He can come in. He can come in for that.
Then other than that, I got nothing. I was just checking to make sure I have my story ready to go.
Oh, and then the other update from the story the other day, we talked about the person in Pennsylvania. It was an 8-year-old girl who went missing 40 years ago, and a woman on Facebook was claiming to be that woman. The cops, they found where she made the phone call from, whatever. They couldn't find her, but they traced the phone. They did the fingerprint match. Obviously, it's not the girl whatsoever. It's not her at all. So if you're out there and you have any information on a person who's been missing for 40 years, that sweet $5,000 nobody gives a fuck fucking prize is still out there.
It didn't go to someone absolutely just seeking meth money.
Dude, you win $5,000 in a scratch and you almost throw the thing out. I hate to say it, but after taxes and shit, you don't give a fuck. All right, so okay, you ready? And now here's our guy coming in. This is our guy, Jeff Labbe, everybody. What's up, Jeff? How are you?
Hey, how's it going? Good morning.
Good morning. And before everybody in the comments starts making fun of him wearing sunglasses, the guy's fucking blind and shit.
Thank you.
I think that's the best way to do it. You know what I mean? Instead of you having to go through the whole thing. He's not 100% blind, but he's got issues with his eyes, and he's here today. All of you have issues with your eyes, so fuck off. You'll be fine. You'll get over it. No, he's not the guy who sings from Roadhouse, Sin Behind the Chicken Wire. No, he's not from Lynyrd Skynyrd. He's a young man who's very funny, and he'll be in the finals of that contest. So, and his roommate, who's probably sitting next to him, was commenting already, yelling at us, "Where's the news I like?" Fucking Matt Sloan, alcoholic.
Shout out Sloan.
I have a theory that Matt is such an alcoholic that he drinks so much that his alcoholism has left his body and went into Jeff's eyes and stopped him from seeing. That's what I think happened.
You know what? I want to blame his alcoholism for my blindness too. That way I don't have to blame my own.
I drank the other guy blind.
The taste tester for his moonshine.
Nice.
He's more than a night drinker like Rich Kish.
Yeah, Kish. Yeah, I don't think I think it goes into the morning, Kish. By the way, I would have to say that. So Bobby, this is a rare thing. Do you want to kick off stories?
Yeah, I actually have a Charlotte the Stingray update. Matthew Sloan. Thank you for leading into that perfectly. As you may know, Charlotte claimed to be fake pregnant. The Stingray herself claimed this, not the
Can I do a 1 second quick?
Yeah.
We started this show in February. There was a whole story. It was on TikTok, everything like that. Charlotte the Stingray. It was at an aquarium in the mountains of North Carolina, up in that area, Appalachian Mountains. There was a pregnancy that was supposed to be like there was no father, there was no other stingray in the tanks it all. They didn't know how it happened. They said it was through this process where it's like cells that split. It can happen once in a while. It's not a Jesus fish. It's not an immaculate fish, whatever that. People were flocking, going there. They were getting all this audience. They were getting all this fame. They were getting all this accolation. They were making all this money off it and capitalizing. And then Bobby, from day one, has been saying, this is fake. This is bullshit. Fuck this. They're fucking doing a scam. You know, I'm like, whatever, Bobby. You're being all cynical. I like that part of the show, but this and that, whatever. Last week, Terry Nee, our boy, our Arnie Pie in the Sky, he fucking broke for us while during the show. He's like, it's out, man. It was been fake for months. It's been a lie. There was never any fucking babies coming, and they did all this stuff. So that was our update, but Bobby's now going to update more on that.
So, Pat, as you know, Charlotte, it was proven they actually have an official diagnosis now. It's eosinophilic colitis, EOC. I don't know what that means. But the condition,
the AOC's at the end after all that.
No, it's EOC is what they refer to it as.
Oh, I thought it was like it was a doctor that had a term after.
No, eosinophilic is hard to say.
Yeah.
So the EOC, the condition causes severe inflammation in the colon due to abnormal accumulation of eosinophils, a type of white blood cell. I don't know how that occurred or why it occurred. Nobody does, but they brought in an official guy. And guess what the result was for the what's that called where they all live? Aquarium. Brenda Raymer has shuttered up the aquarium through at least July.
Now we're closing the doors?
The Henderson Aquarium has been closed through at least July to give
the Echo Labs
recover.
It's closed?
Yep.
Who is the piece of shit?
First of all, what do you think they're doing? Do you think they're doing it for a new... She's coming up with a new scheme?
Oh, Pat, I'm so glad you asked, because what will they be returning with? An event named Shark Lab, which will take place on July 5th and feature various activities. The community's response has been overwhelmingly positive, showcasing their solidarity and willingness to help Charlotte during this challenging time. So at this point, I'd like to ask, who is the piece of shit in this story? Is it the community? This bitch lied. Brenda Raymer. She started an aquarium in her sink, Jeff. In her sink. And then pretended her fucking stingray was pregnant by sharks so that way everybody would come to her museum. And the community jumped in. Pat liked to say, what was the name of the coffee? Your favorite coffee?
Oh, god damn it. What was it? I fucking forgot the name of the coffee.
But literally the entire town became dedicated to this pregnant stingray that was a lie. And now everybody's like, we'll do what it takes to help Charlotte.
All the stores were selling merch based on this bitch. It's like,
yeah, the local pet store had babies of chameleons that they were selling off because all these kids were upset that they came to see Charlotte give birth and it never did. So was it the community? Is it Charlotte the stingray? All right, we've all been victim of a pregnancy scare. Oh, it's yours, and then you're like, we'll see. Let me see that tested in 6 months. Or is it Brenda Raymer? Like, just fake your own death and move to Puerto Rico at this point. Pat, we're going to kick it to you first.
First of all, I don't remember what the name of the coffee was. It's pissing me off, but it should have been the Charlotte. I think we said that before, but I don't know how it wasn't that, but it wasn't that. It's not Brenda Raymer. You know what I mean? The Wizard of Oz needs to continue to be the Wizard of Oz. When they pull the curtain back, you just hope other Dorothys show up from Kansas. That's all you're ever hoping for. Once a snake oil salesman, always a snake oil salesman. You know, she finally found a thing. Like, when you find a comic who's doing like a wacky bit, not a regular bit, like this crazy thing, and it becomes like too weird. Like I told you about that kid who puts the stool on his fucking head in our local area scene and does that shit. And people know him for as the stool on his head thing. No one thinks it's funny, but the area's like, oh, here comes the guy with the stool on his head. Yep. When people got tired of the stool on his head, he stopped for a little bit, and then he started showing porn on his phone to people because he's like, he needed something else. And it's like, so as comics at the open mic, we're like, oh, great, another thing. You know what I mean? But if no one in the audience is ever like, we want this thing, they're always
stool on head. Stool on
head. They want that all day. But nobody really wants this thing. Brenda, nobody wanted a pregnant stingray. And by the way, yes, Kevin, you are correct. We did find that out. That's my breaking story, that Kevin Nicholson fucked a stingray, and that's what happened. But we found out that he has barren jizz. So what happens is he could not get it pregnant, and that's why they had to lie. They thought he got it pregnant because he filled it up. but he could not complete the job. It's not your fault, buddy. It happens. It's fine.
And
The
ironically,
piece of
that's
shit in
the
this
porn that guy keeps trying to show at all the open mics is Kevin fucking the stingray. He's like, someone needs to
Yes.
know the stingray's not pregnant.
The piece of shit in this story are the mountain people of the Appalachian Mountain area of North Carolina where they're from. Because mountain people fucking do better. Stop being mountain people. It's 2024. You're keeping the stereotype alive. No one else. There's no other area in America. There isn't. You get the Great Plains, the fucking Great Lakes, the great other stuff. Wherever all the shit is in Connecticut, in America, all over, nobody would have cared about a stingray being pregnant by Jesus. We always would have said this. Maybe some parts of Panhandle, Florida, but then again, you go, that's Florida. And Florida almost feels like they have to do that just to keep you from mentioning them dumb news stories on morning shows that aren't funny, that have to say Florida nonstop. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Anyway, so it's like,
Us?
no, it's another show I used to do. Anyway, it's like, which we'll get to that anyway. The why would you care? And now that you said the community, which means the mountain people, are excited to now learn about sharks. Get the fucking internet. It's all you have to do. There's literally a week, even if you don't have the internet, I'm sure you have basic cable. They have that up there. There's a week for it, guys. It's literally called Shark Week. You don't need a lab. You can just watch all the shows. It's all it is. You can learn about, and by the way, why do you need to learn about sharks? Guess what's not going to get you up in the mountains? Sharks. You know what it is? Your uncle. Be more worried about your uncle and not the sharks, fucking mountain people. Step up to this fucking wizard that you call her, probably the woman that knows about the things from the sea. And how does she know? Was she Aquaman? How does she know this shit? Stay away from Brenda Raymer. She's bad news for you. But like I always say, I never blame the drug dealer. I always blame the drug addict. Brenda can sell whatever the fuck she wants. If nobody's buying shark and stingray stupid products, then you can't get Brenda. You know, Brenda can't hurt you. But if she's selling her goods, you're the idiot buying the goods.
That I definitely see. I think in parts of Alabama and Mississippi, they just teach that you get pregnant by immaculate conception. So they probably bought into the story right away too. But if we got rid of all the hillbilly redneck people,
Bobby, I agree with the concept of that, but they are not using those words.
No, God.
Immaculate and conception in Alabama. But like, isn't that the name of our running back for our football team? Roll Tide.
It is.
Roll down Tide.
In 3 different high schools, immaculate conceptions rushed over 200 yards.
Respectable numbers.
They are respectable numbers.
Jeff, who's your piece of shit, buddy? Other than me for that.
I got to agree with Pat. I got to agree with Pat that the piece of shit is the mountain community, because I used to live not too far from the Blue Ridge Mountains, and I can definitely see all of them accepting right off rip that a case of colitis was somehow a pregnancy. Like, oh, turn out that dang gum stingray didn't even was pregnant. It just needed to take a big old shit. Same thing happened to my daughter. I can see that happening right off rip.
What's crazy is it's the opposite too. It's just a guess every time you feel like you have to shit in the mountains. Half the time it's a toilet baby. I didn't even know I was pregnant.
Now I got a little gummy bear down there. Oh.
Wait, does that mean we can keep fucking the stingray because it doesn't get pregnant? No, Kevin.
At least until it gets pregnant, yes.
You don't leave a job undone, son. You know the rules.
You don't leave an infant soldier behind now.
The
No
Jefferson,
stingray left behind, like George Bush said, the good one.
the Jeffersons, we finish things around here.
The Jeffersons are definitely not in the mountains. There's
Everyone in the mountains is definitely having a different stroke.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Hey, the gooch. Bobby, who's your piece of shit?
My piece of shit is Brenda Raymer. And here's why. Obviously, she pulled a scam. And Pat, like you've said, you don't blame the dealer, you blame the user. But the reason why she's a piece of shit for me is this. Pat, you've written jokes. Have you ever written not like a fictional Not like your comedy book, obviously, but like a fictional book. Because a lot of times what the author does is they project feelings from their own life into animals. And I think Brenda is barren. She's a lonely single woman who lives in the fucking mountains of North Carolina. And she was like, you know what would be great if I just got pregnant and nobody knew who the dad was? And I think she projected this onto the stingray and was like, maybe people will get a metaphor, but she was too silly to realize hillbillies don't get metaphors. So for me, it's barren old Brenda.
I
It's a
don't
scientific
normally
fact.
do.
Hillbillies don't get metaphors.
Yes, thank you. First of all, we needed 2 disclaimers. Jeff did one. My other one, which I never do. The views and thoughts expressed by Bobby Tamburo are not the views and thoughts expressed by Jeff or POS Mornings. We do not know if this woman is barren. The last thing I need in gay month is some lady to be like, my insides can't even be gay. Like we don't.
No, they are gay. Because much like gay people, science can't find a way to put a baby in you.
Jesus Christ! All right.
Fucking hell.
She started an aquarium in her sink, Pat. You think there was a lot of dick in her life?
No, but you know what that takes? You know what that takes, Bobby? A lot of pride. Boom. Anyway, it's like,
In the POS show, folks. Jeff, tell him. No, I'm just kidding.
She's like LGBTQS. It's like you're not putting stingrays in there. I'm putting stingrays.
I'm putting fucking sting. I put a stingray in there,
dude. I don't know who it is. If you're seeing, it's a video. It's been out for a while. It's like obviously it's a podcast, but I don't know it. It's these 2 black guys talking, and it's like from a different country. And the black guy's like breaking down LGBTQ, and he goes, "It don't make sense to me at all. The L, lesbian. That's 2 ladies liking each other. Gay. The G, that's gay already. That's 2 gays. You don't need 2 letters. So get there the L. The T, he goes, the B, that's bisexual. But if you tell me you bisexual, I already know you like girls. You're a man. But you tell me you bisexual, gay. So there you go. You cut out 3 letters. It's G. The T, you are a man that wants to be a woman, and if you want to sleep with women now, that's pretending to be gay. But if you a man who turns into a woman, but you sleep with women still, or sleep with men now, you gay. That's gay. And then Q is queer. Look it up. Gay. It should just be gay.
oh, man, I've said that.
It's
for
the
years.
greatest math I've ever seen.
Yeah, these guys have just summarized all the thoughts on the issue for so long.
And it's
what's
like
the-
the
what's
host,
the plus?
the host of that show, by the way, is going, like it's great points.
Preach, brother. Preach.
I forget who did this, but this reminds me of someone getting the 10 Commandments crushed down to like 3 or 4. I think it was Carlin. And he's just like,
Yes.
it's really only like 3 commandments.
You just can't have stuff. You can't fuck stuff. You can't hate stuff. That's basically all it is anyway.
Yep.
Don't covet. Don't covet your neighbor's wife. That's the same thing.
It's the same thing.
Bobby, do you like trending fun things?
I
Like
don't.
when the world's like, hey, let's do ice bucket challenge, or let's all pretend our mom's dead, or whatever the fun trends are on TikTok.
I prefer the dead moms over the ice bucket challenge.
I do that every day. I didn't even know it was a challenge.
No, it wasn't. It is for you. It's not for your mom. She's dead. She's like, all right, I can do this. There's a trend, I guess, going on, and I didn't know this, but a dad played into it, and it kind of backfired, if you will. A Kansas teen is paralyzed after girl's dad shoots him over controversial senior assassin trend in Walmart parking lot. We haven't covered Kansas at all. You know what I mean?
No.
This is our first Kansas story I think we've ever done. I don't know what I think of Kansas. I do think of basketball because back in the 80s and 90s they had good teams. They still have decent teams now, but you know what I mean? College basketball, that's all I really think of. I do think of the Wizard of Oz, but I do think of just white people. And I don't know if I think farms kind of, but I don't think stupid like I do Alabama and stuff, but I don't think smart like I would like MIT. You know what I mean?
No, I literally picture a bunch of Kirk Heinrichs running around. That's what I think Kansas is.
That's nothing worse. I've heard that's the worst dream of most people of an epidemic is just a bunch of Kurt Heinrichs. Which, by the way, for people out there who are Googling which Nazi was Kurt Heinrich, he was actually a basketball player, but that name sounds like he definitely served under Hitler.
It does.
He's a great 3-point shooter. Single-handedly beat Marquise in in the semifinal round. I don't
Oh
know. What you
no,
want
I know he is,
from
but his
poor
name
Kurt.
does sound like it's SSR Kurt Heinrich.
And
Okay, just because
Didn't he
he
come
would drop
down-
the goal and sing hail every time he hit a 3, that's not his fault. That's how he was raised.
I thought he just had like a reel from down south type of layup, and he just called the U-boat.
Yeah, it's nice. It's
Ooh.
the finger roll that you.
Ah,
Yeah. So, like and all his fans are riding the Heinrich train. It's like no, don't do
No,
this.
no, please.
And every time he beats somebody 1-on-1, they go on his list, Heinrich's list. It's like, oh, don't be on Heinrich's list.
it's a way worse list than it sounds.
No, yeah,
This is our
you don't want
chance,
to be on that
guys.
list.
They look real gassed. Don't say that, Kirk.
You can either shoot a 3 or just take a Jew. I mean, 2. You decide what you're gonna do.
You guys ever think of like changing the away uniforms to stripes? No striped pajamas.
What if we gave our opponents like a pass they could get around that they could wear on their shirt? It would be like a bright yellow guest pass.
I don't know if people out there know this, but Kansas's mascot is the Jayhawks. But if they called themselves the Jewhawks, it'd be a way different kind of hunter.
Same
If
size
somebody
beak.
shatters the glass on the backboard, they can call it their own little crystal knock.
I don't think we're going to be able to fit into the story, but okay. Because this, by the way, this has nothing to do with Kurt Heinrich. This is not a Kurt Heinrich story.
I'm sorry.
See, Bobby, this is where your fucking beautiful references help the show. When people say, like, Bobby's saying wacky singers and stuff, sometimes it really does help. This is the gift that you give, my friend.
Yeah, who would have thought we would have had a Kirk Heinrich as a Nazi riff this morning?
Bobby, if you can make a clip of that and then we just find and tag Kurt Heinrich and he'll literally be like, what the fuck? Like, no one's talking about me in years. What is this shit? I'm just being Kurt Heinrich.
And he's also gonna be like, "Did you know?" He's gonna find all the fake stories and start telling people that.
Or worse, we get hit up by Nazis who are going, are you insulting the great leader, Kurt Heinrich? And there really is a guy. It's like, oh, God damn it, there's a real Kurt Heinrich.
Fuck.
Dude, like, remember that old game show in like the 70s or 80s they would do? It's like, you have to like guess who the person is. It's like, I am the real Kurt Heinrich. Oh, I am the real Kurt Heinrich. And there's a guy who works at like a Lowe's, and he's like, no, it's me. I'm the Kurt Heinrich. You have to guess which one. It's the NBA player, the Nazi leader, or the guy who works at Lowe's.
It turns out
Will
all
the real
three.
Kirk Heinrich, please stand up.
And they all hate Jews. Like, wait, what? It's like, why do they all hate Jews? All right.
That was just statistics building, is all that was.
That's all. It's the stats. A high school senior was left paralyzed from the waist down when a furious father shot him in a Walmart parking lot after the teen fired a toy gun at the man's daughter as part of a controversial trend. Anakin Zering. I don't want any kid to get hurt, but if your name is Anakin, you are going to get injured. Like, your parents named you after not even a good Star Wars character. I know he turned into a better one. But Nate, you're better off naming your kid Darth Vader than Anakin. Like, literally.
Otherwise, they have the high ground.
That's it. Yeah, I understand him getting shot. 18 was in a car with 2 other males outside of a Walmart in Goddard, Kansas on May 11th when they spotted 2 teens walking towards the building and conducted a drive-by shooting with gel blasters. A passenger inside the car shouted, "I am your senior assassin," as the 2 teens, a girl and her boyfriend, were shot at multiple times with the water-filled polymer beads. Senior Assassin's elaborate game of tag where participating high school seniors are given a target and are usually asked to record tagging their victims and posting it to social media off school grounds. Which, by the way, just sounds, I know with the part with the gun, but it sounds harmless and stupid. They have a name for it. You get given a person to go. It actually doesn't sound like the world's worst thing.
No.
Can I see it going wrong in front of the wrong people? Possibly, but this already sounds like a small little po-punk town that I would think, like, they didn't have gel blasters. It sounds like Dazed and Confused at the end of the year where all the seniors got the paddle and they would go beat the shit out of some kid. It sounds crazy to watch, but everyone knew it was coming. It was their thing. The town embraced it. They did their thing. They moved on. They even let a black guy hit people with paddles in the 70s. Like, that was progressive.
I mean, he had his
Um,
own paddle, but yeah. It was a separate but equal paddle.
Yeah, it wasn't equal.
It was only
It was
3/5
so
the size of the regular one.
And when he hit you, it didn't feel it right away because it was always late. was like,
Delayed reaction.
He went around the day after everybody got beat with a paddle and was like, my turn.
most paddles just
The
hit you on the
mischief
ass. This one yells during a movie you watch, then hits you. It's like, can you shut the fuck up? Most games consist of players using water guns, water balloons, or gel blaster, as seen in Zaring's case. Multiple police departments warned parents earlier this year that the nationwide game could have deadly consequences. The couple claimed they were shot with several rounds of the beads before rushing inside and escaping the shooting. Once inside, the girl called her father, Ruben Marcus Contreras. We got a Ruben Contreras in Kansas.
That's a guy who shoots a kid in a parking lot.
Yeah, it changes the story a little bit. To tell him they were shot with the gel blasters and didn't know who the teens were. The girl's boyfriend, named only as GB in the police affidavit of the incident, confronted the teens and was met with one of them using an expletive and later told him to meet him out of the back of the Walmart. The teen boys who parked their cars attempted to enter the Walmart but were kicked out and walked over to a nearby Dairy Queen. When Contreras arrived at the store, his daughter pointed the teens out, who were getting back in their car, a Chevy Spark. I don't know why they had to give Chevy Spark a shout out. Maybe
Chevy's sponsoring his electric wheelchair since he'll never walk again.
if they're like, if you didn't think this was gay enough, shooting people with gel guns, he was in a Chevy Spark.
That changed all of the Kansas City perspective. They were on the kid's side until they found out he was driving a hybrid.
Do you know who the fullback was for Immaculate Conception on the Alabama teams? Chevy Spark. The furious father drove through the parking lot as Zaring was backing out of the spot and confronted the teen, attempting to open the driver's side door. Contreras' daughter, identified as SC, said that she saw her father walking towards the car and put her head down due to being scared of what might happen to her dad. The scared daughter heard a loud pop before watching the blue spark drive away and crash into the shipping containers. Contreras runs back into the driver's side of the spark and appears to pull out a firearm from the right side of his waistband, a cop said. Contreras has the firearm in his right hand and sticks his right hand out the open window of the driver's side backside seat area, like someone who's done this before. It is at this point, fires one round into the vehicle. Contreras was armed with a 9mm Smith & Wesson handgun. In his affidavit, Zaring told police that he thought Contreras was just a pedestrian walking through the parking lot and only came to a stop for the crosswalk. Zaring said his ears started ringing and realized he had been shot. Zaring says he turned to the west, and who says that? I turned to the west and realized, does he have a compass? Maybe the Chevy Spark has a compass and not a GPS in it. That's how shitty that car is. So he realized he couldn't feel his legs, the detective wrote. Zaring stated he hit a pole in the parking lot to get the spark to stop because he didn't want to hit anyone in the roadway. The Goddard High School graduate also told police that he wasn't the one shooting the gel blaster, a claim that was contradicted as one of the passengers told authorities Zaring was the shooter, in fact. The single shot left Zaring, left Zaring with severe injuries as it punctured the duodenum, upper part of small intestine. Thank you, New York Post, for knowing I'm too dumb to know what a duodenum is. Like, all right, I got hit in the duodenum. What's up, V? Anyway, what's up, Scotty? What's going on? And damaged the spinal cord, causing loss of sensation from the waist down. His parents said to GoFundMe. The bullet caused significant damage to his body, necessitating the fusion of his L1, L2, and L3 spinal bones. The teen was initially hospitalized at St. Francis in critical condition before being transferred to Madonna Rehabilitation Facility in Omaha, Nebraska. Contreras was arrested May 15th and charged with attempted first-degree murder. He was booked at the Sedgwick County Detention Facility on $300,000 bail and is currently out on bond. Who is the piece of shit in the story? Is it this father? A little bit, kind of, sort of overreacting to a crazy game going on. But he did get a phone call from his daughter. His daughter and the boyfriend, it sounds like, basically made it sound like they were in imminent danger. It sounds like this father was told that the boyfriend was going to get his ass kicked out of the Walmart because he confronted these high school kids. When you're a high school kid, that can be scary. If you thought bullies were coming to get you, a prank goes awry. There's always those guys who take a prank too far and a joke too far and now want to fuck with you. She called her dad. The dad was a dad. You know what I mean? He came down. He said, I got your back. I give him credit. He had the back of the guy who fucks his daughter. Not a lot of people would have done that. That's a good man right there, kind of, sort of. You know what I mean? So is it the dad for coming down and doing that thing? Is it the daughter for calling her dad and making this a bigger deal than it really was? Saying we're in danger, having him come down. Why are you involving your father? Let your boyfriend handle it. Have the boyfriend call his friends, do something like that. It's a teenage prank. Literally, we read in that thing. Not only did the school know, it's not a new thing. It was known enough where the police had said, hey guys, this can be dangerous. If the police are talking about it, they're not just telling the school. I'm sure it was in local news in the next small town like Goddard, fucking Kansas. I'm sure the local news is covering up where everyone knows about it or has heard about this thing that's going on. Yeah, it can lead to a scuffle in a parking lot. Shit happens sometimes. Is it the kid and his friend for jumping out and being in the car and doing the whole thing? We're your assassins. And even though they did what they were supposed to do, identify, it says right there, they're told who to shoot. They were told to shoot these people. They did it. You didn't get hurt. You got shot by a gel gun. It's a game. Yeah, it might have stung for a second, but you knew it was happening. The fact that you reacted in the way you did and called you and started a fight, the boyfriend supposedly said, he obviously said something. They're not saying that. But all of a sudden, this escalated. You know what I mean? It's one thing for those guys to shoot them and say, we're the assassins, whatever. Then they said there was a bunch of expletives, and then these two guys were like, we're going to meet you outside in the parking lot and fuck you up. They wouldn't have just said that. Believe me, I understand bullies. This kid said something. What, are you going to shoot a fucking girl, you fucking pussy? Something like that happened where they're like, okay, now you're insulting us? We weren't even involved, bro. And now, you know what? Now we're going to have to beat your ass. You know what I mean? We are the seniors. We're going out in style. We're dummies. We're doing our dumb thing. Is it Chevy Spark? What the fuck? Chevy Spark is not the official car of anybody who gets paralyzed real quick. He had to drive his car into a telephone pole to stop it, to save people. Chevy Spark got more damage by driving into a telephone pole to itself than this guy did getting shot in his duodometry, whatever the fuck it was. Is it Walmart? Nobody, did you hear anything about one official or anything? I know Walmart employees don't give a fuck, but when there's shootings and there's fucking like fights and teen shit, that one retarded greeter's got to be like, there's something going on here. Like, you got to help out somebody. What?
He did pick out the teens, the retarded guy. That's the most impressive part of this, is he was able to be like, get out of my Walmart.
or is it Kansas for allowing Ruben Contreras, obviously a man who's done a drive-by before, who knows how to turn out and shoot out the back other side window while driving slow? Dude, that's some fucking Friday Boys in the Hood shit there. Who's the piece of shit in the story? Jeff, you go first.
The piece of shit is definitely Kansas because of Ruben Marcus Contreras. His middle and last name literally mean powerful disagreement. This guy's not the guy you want to call when you have a slight disagreement with your classmates. So a little bit the daughter too, because she knows her dad by this point. What the fuck is she doing? She puts her head down because she's afraid of what's going to happen because she's seen him shoot someone before, I guarantee it.
First of all, I do appreciate for a man who, I've said this about you before, Jeff. Jeff, first person who has a disability, really uses the other heightened senses. The man Googles better than most people with eyes, and he figured that shit out really quick. Jeff's the only person in a contest one time who didn't go over the light at a contest, and he's the one who can't see the light. Like, literally, we have to let him know and make like a noise, and he's the only one who respectfully does the time. All the people with eyeballs went over. So I appreciate
remember that.
Jeff.
Here we are.
I announced that to the audience. I was like, yes.
The fucking non-handicap privilege of comedians getting to run the light. Poor old Jeff stuck doing it. I love it.
Bobby, who's your piece of shit?
So V does bring up a good point that you could say China's the piece of shit here. They invented TikTok and started this trend that they make super realistic looking gel guns for. But it sounds like that's not what this incident was. Like, it wasn't a drive-by, somebody saw the fake gun and thought it was a real gun. They thought this was well after the fact. For me, the piece of shit's the boyfriend. Stand on business. The other day, I go running at the track at the local high school, Pat, and they had rugby practice. 4 guys. They started putting the ball, and I became their beacon around the track. Now, none of them could kick the ball within close enough distance of me to be nervous, but I could tell, like, based on where they were putting.
They were aiming the kicks at the guy running. It wasn't about you. They're being goofballs.
But had one of those balls hit me, guess what I would have done? Called you and been like, send your son, who's a college rugby player, to beat up these kids. You call your friends.
Unfortunately, knowing Seamus, he would have gotten there and gone, let me try to kick it out of it. Because, like, Bobby,
No.
I'm fucking hit you in the head.
But the reality is, it's kids being kids. You know, the gel gun game's stupid. It is going to get somebody hurt, but there was enough time in this incident for the dad to catch his breath and be like, what am I about to do here? Am I about to ruin somebody's life, including my daughter's? And the answer is obviously yes. So for me, it's the boyfriend. Go, the kids shot your girlfriend. You're mad about it. You're a junior, they're a senior. Learn how to fight. You're going to get beat up in a parking lot. Nobody's going to die. Everybody's going to go home walking again. Your girlfriend's going to blow you because you stood up for her. It's a win-win-win situation. You don't call the dad, and you stand on business.
You do stand. I agree with you. But I also agree with someone else, one of our favorite guys that watches this show all the time, V. Because making that joke, joking around, some people just know their directions, Pat. He's referring to West. The piece of shit in the story is the boyfriend, but not because he fucking fought anybody. It's because when that motherfucker was interviewed about getting shot, he goes, I couldn't look west. What the fuck are you talking about? Where the fuck are you from? Dude, you're an alien. You're not real. So we found out something here. That guy is not, he's a skinwalker. Who the fuck talks like that? That's like, you're trying to know English, but you don't know English. I looked west? You're the same one who yelled out, I'm your senior assassin. And now you yelled west. Dude, lock this kid up. I'm happy he can't walk. Fuck your legs. You don't deserve shit. You can't. West? Who the fuck? If you told me to look west right now, I wouldn't know where the fuck to look.
Well, my man got shot and turned into Chris Kelly. He became a real assassin. I was driving due west, had to take out the target.
But if he was even driving, I'm guessing it's the Chevy Spark. I know I made a joke, but some of those cars, they do have a fucking compass for some reason. But that was the way the car was directed. It doesn't mean you were looking at. What the fuck? This is why we can't have nice things. I try to defend teenagers all I can because I have a teenage son. My daughter's 22 now. I like the kids of today, the younger people, the comics, stuff like that. I like the things they have. They have it better than we ever did. They do. I would like to watch porn when I was a kid. I didn't want to go in the proverbial woods and find the proverbial pervert and get proverbially molested. I didn't want any of that at all.
I think that's where we were going.
And I also had to find him on my own. No one said go west and find the man in the woods. I had to just find the man in the woods. I had to use like things like find the hobo who lit himself on fire, turn left at him. And I'd go like this, and I'd figure out left. That's what I would do. So yeah.
Was that not the point of the movie Go West, Young Man?
It is. It is. Go West. And then the sequel called Limp Back, Young Man, because he has no legs anymore. Because he was shot in his deuterometry, whatever the fuck it was.
Roll back. It's Walmart. Roll back.
First of all, V, it's not porn for kids. These are Kansas high school seniors, which means they're probably 25. So it's all fine. Now,
you think Chevy was able to put the spark back into his eyes once he heard he would never be able to walk again?
Yes. And by the way, do you think he's going to be in a commercial?
No.
He's
like, he is.
No, I think he's going to be in there and going, this leg room is amazing.
You know what I wouldn't have been able to, you know what car would have allowed me to be able to walk again? A Ford Mustang. That's why from this day forward, I only buy Fords.
He's going to get some sick hookup deals.
Do you think, or maybe do you think he'll do a commercial or the father, Ruben, should do a commercial for the whatever fake gun he was using, that other kid used? He's like, if you want to pretend like you have a real gun, this is so real. He goes, it made me kill a guy. It's like, oh shit. It's like, that's crazy.
I crippled a kid over this one. Get it?
Yeah, it's like, Jeff, we have a thing that happens on our show. It happens on a lot of shows. Whatever it show that Scott Fitzpatrick, by the way, Scott is part of a huge, crazy group of guys, the BFF stuff with our good friend Bobby Fran and that whole crew. They have shows on usually at noon during the day. They have shows at night, whatever. Go find Bobby Fran and all his guys and Scott and all that and follow them. They're fun guys and they're very supportive of us and we love what they do too. But Scott always asks the same question of all the guests. So, Jeff, I'm going to put this up and I'll read it for you. Good morning, Jeff. If a gay monkey was on your back, would you leave it there or would you beat it off?
I'd beat it off only because I don't want my scalp ripped off. So I feel like, in for a penny, in for a pound, especially maybe a pound. But that's okay. All right.
Yes, but
I'll beat him off.
You beat him off, but if you beat me off while I was holding you, I wouldn't let go. Because finally I'd have some love. You know what I mean? So I don't think that strategy
You got
works.
it, Pat.
You know what I mean?
That's
If
true.
someone held me and beat me off, I'd be like, finally, I went west.
And even in my case, if you just implied at some point down the road you might think about beating me off, I would never let you go.
Even if I get him to sleep, he's gonna wake back up. He's gonna have my scent all over him. He's gonna find me.
And let's be honest, are you going to give him a good hand job? Probably. He's going to want more.
I mean, yeah. I'm not gonna give
If you
someone a
give
shitty hand job. That's
Yeah.
rude.
No, of course. If you give a monkey a hand job, he's going to ask for more.
First of all, what kind of scent?
Or he's just
you
gonna
got
take
going?
my hand.
What's your scent? But by the way, V, I love you, but it was a fucking joke about being stupid.
I just thought you found all the porn schools I watch where they're clearly like 30 years old and like, no, Mr. Professor.
By the way, I hate your porn school. Why is there like a weird old man? No, Mr. Professor, I'm supposed to be a lady. Like, you don't sound like a lady. Oh, Jeff died.
Jeff hated
Oh,
so
no.
much he left. He was like, fuck that.
Jeff's like, what?
bad.
No kid porn? No kid porn? I'm out.
Fuck this. What I sign up for? This is a waste of time.
Kid porn. Oh wait,
tell us
now
your piece of shit,
Dion's sending me breaking news. Hold on, Bobby, you got a story? Go ahead.
Sure. Jeff, do you know who Lauren Boebert is?
I know the name. Is it a politician, the insane one?
It is a politician and insane. She's the one from Beetlejuice.
Broke it down. Jeff
Right.
should be an analyst.
Hand
on this
job.
show.
Yeah.
Hand job
exactly.
Beetlejuice.
Just like the monkey from the previous story, she beat somebody off at Beetlejuice. But she's back in the news again because rapper 50 Cent has shocked the internet after he shared a photo of himself with Lauren Boebert at the Capitol building. The musician born Curtis Jackson III visited Capitol Hill Wednesday to advocate for Black entrepreneurs and push for more representation in the alcohol industry. 50 Cent, who owns the liquor company Sire Spirits, was joined by civil rights attorney Ben Crump. After his visit, he posted a picture of himself posing with the outspoken GOP representative, which quickly went viral. Lauren Boebert, Colorado Republican, making the White House look good with a smiling winky face emoji. He captioned the photo of the two of them on X. At the time of this post, at the time of writing of this, the post has been viewed 3.2 million times, with many people using the opportunity to share their disapproval. Lauren Boebert has been an embarrassment for her voters. She's going to lose in the next election, one person commented. You disappoint me, Curtis. Got a taste of that maggot money, didn't you? Sold out your principles. You are now a member of traitors and terrorists. History will no longer remember you for your music. You'll be remembered for this, said another. This is why I don't pay attention to rappers politically, someone else wrote. Not everyone was upset over the photo, as one person wrote, this is what's up, fire emoji. Artist of the decade, 50 Cent, world-class rapper, successful entrepreneur, author, and self-made millionaire. 50 Cent is a national treasure, someone else commented. Okay, refollowed you with a laughing on the floor emoji. Boebert, a prominent Trump ally, gained national spotlight in 2023 after reports emerged that she and Date had been kicked out of the production of Beetlejuice, the musical. Despite the lawmakers' initial denial of the wrongdoing, it was caught on security camera, yada, yada, yada. Who's the piece of shit in this story? Is it 50 Cent? This isn't the first time 50 Cent's gone Republican and there's been a significant backlash. He did it before the first time Trump was running, and then that girl who likes to get peed on by the guy who fucked a pie was like, no, I don't do that, 50. And he was like, oh, you're right, old woman. Then is it Lauren Boebert? Like, what are we doing? You can take him.
Hold on, stop. You can't just casually explain someone. That's the craziest explanation for a person I've ever heard.
What's Chelsea
There's
Handler?
there's so much to that, and you just moved the fuck on. Like what? The girl gets peed on from the guy who fucks a pie?
Yeah, Chelsea Handler.
I don't know any of the connections, but it's fantastic.
I don't know what that is.
So
I know Jesse Handler is, but I don't know the references you're making.
The pie fucking, the peeing, what?
What's that guy's name from American Pie? Jason Biggs, right?
Jason Biggs?
Jason Biggs, yep.
He's on Chelsea Handler. Hang on.
He pees on
What do you
Chelsea
say?
Handler? Like all the time, or just one time, or what happened?
I think it only takes once.
Gotta find the video,
That's
guys.
true.
Hang on, I got
No,
it.
it's okay. It's okay. You can do your story. I just once again, Bobby, I love your way of like, here's a little detail. It's like, wait,
So there's a video of Chelsea Handler on a boat, or she's in the water, and Jason Biggs is on the boat, and he just pees on her, and she's like laughing.
like for
and
real, or was it like a sketch?
No, it was 100% just that was them having fun, hanging out.
Okay.
Oh, they were together.
Yeah, I mean, it would have been a long pee if they weren't.
Oh, I thought you meant it was like on a dock, and then he just came over to the side and pissed on her, and then walked like, Jason Biggs.
No. Like, thinking there was romance involved. So is it 50?
Romance involved.
I do declare,
love-
Mr. Beauregard.
He just looked over and goes, "Now I'm your senior assassin." It's like, ooh.
No, then Chelsea's dad should have shot him. Nobody be mad.
Yes.
If he peed on your daughter.
That
Yeah,
would be more understandable.
Yeah, take care of business, Reuben Handler.
So is it 50? You should have seen where this is going. Is it Lauren Boebert? Just stay out of the media for a bit. Every time you come up, people are going to bring up Beetlejuice hand jobs. We don't need to talk about that every week. Give us a month off. Is it anybody who's mad at 50 Cent? Oh, the guy who's been known for being controversial and a gangster rapper did something a little controversial. What are we doing here? Or is it anybody who's excited like Curtis Jackson, 50 Cent wouldn't flip if it was a better business deal in a heartbeat for him to the other side? Pat, I kicked it to you first last time, so we're going to go to Jeff first this time.
The piece of shit there is definitely going to be everybody's getting upset about it, really. 'Cause especially, I don't want to keep Lauren Boebert out of the limelight because Beetlejuice 2 is coming out soon, and I've been waiting a while. And anything that gets more Beetlejuice attention, I'm all for it. She's helping the franchise out. She's really putting in the hard work, and you know what? That should be appreciated. But yeah, the piece of shit is everybody getting pissed off about the whole situation. Why are they even upset? I don't get it.
Arguably, she's done more to promote Beetlejuice than Michael Keaton has.
I'm saying.
I'm kind of on board. Pat, who's your piece of shit?
Kevin thinks it's Jenna Ortega. I know it's because she's in Beetlejuice. Yeah, and there's not supposed to be Latinas in Beetlejuice. I understand that. I hate to say it. I hate Beetlejuice. I only saw it for the first time earlier this year. The movie theater near my house, there's an old time movie theater, and they played it after the anniversary of it. They also did a weird sketch reenactment where this crippled guy was paid to be Beetlejuice and but sing like a musical. So that made it weird for me too. But anyway, it was an okay movie, but it was very rapey and kind of weird. I don't know, and very pedophilic, and I don't know, very strange fucking movie. But anyway, it's not any of the people you said in there. It's Donald Trump. It's Donald Trump for not paying attention to this. It's for not paying attention to this story and other stories in the past. Because Bobby, something you brought up. Every time 50 Cent kind of mentions he's Republican, it gets the world in a tizzy and it gets them talking. You want to make sure no black people vote for fucking Joe Biden? I would be announcing today, after dealing with Lauren Boebert and her problems, my vice president is Curtis Jackson, also known as 50 Cent. The bill of Trump and 50 would be the greatest ever. Make America gangster again would be the new saying. It would be amazing. The hats can be sideways now. Dude, then if Trump just decides 2 years in he doesn't want to do it anymore, 50 goddamn cent. Finally, a black Jackson is president of the United States. After what Andrew Jackson did to so many black people, we got Curtis Jackson being president of the goddamn United. He can even say my lineage goes there because Andrew Jackson fucked my great-great-great-great-grandmother. You know what I mean? It'd be amazing. Dude, do you think any countries would fuck with us if Curtis goddamn Jackson was the goddamn vice president of the United States?
I've been saying this for Trump, a year and a half. Oh yeah, man.
But if that was the thing. Think about it. What is Trump? Every time Trump mentions he's up in the party, the political party goes crazy. If he's just Trump, it's one thing. But when he says there, 50 Cent, same thing. No one's gonna care about Biden anymore. And then Biden's gonna have to go try to get somebody. And Biden is so like out of it. Biden is so like behind the times. He'll be like, I'll counter it. I'll get Drake. And everyone's like, oh no, don't get Drake. You know, it's like and then now it's over. It's like, and then it's all done. So yeah, it's Trump. Read these stories, see these things, make it happen. 50 will say yes. I will guarantee you 50 will say yes.
I will guarantee you he'll say no because he was already asked about this. I did a bunch of research about trying to get 50
No, I'm
president.
not on the angle I'm saying where he's just there to be the assassin. Oh no, Jason. Well, you can't see if it's Jason Biggs.
I mean, not in this video, but it's been confirmed. James,
Wait, did she open her mouth?
By the way, yes, it was erotic, Pat. I don't know what to tell you.
Oh, oh. I mean, don't get me
never
wrong.
peed on anybody?
I don't like Chelsea Handler, and I don't find her attractive. So I understand peeing on her rather than having sex with her. But like, she's in the water, and he's like, "Ha!" And by the way, weird move by Jason Biggs to be like, because the same guy's probably like, I was a lead in a movie. Why don't I get roles anymore? I don't know, because you piss on women. I mean, yeah, it's white women, and that's the one no one really gets mad about. But still, it's also Chelsea Handler. Like, the only thing that would be more accepted is if it was like Kathy Griffin.
Oh,
have you been looking at my Google search history?
Yes, and it says, who does Jeff think is
on
the
Kathy
toilet?
Griffin.
Yes, it's like,
but Pat, you've never had to mark your territory?
No.
No, just be like, this is mine. That's,
No, what do we I have to mark my where do you think I'm dwelling where I have to like let people know of my territory ownings?
It's not about where you physically live. It's more just like, this is my girl. And then you mark like a dog. You mark your turf.
If I'm a dog and we some dogs.
Wait, am I doing that so she knows?
No. So when Jeff fly ass comes around, he can smell it and be like, nope, taken. Sorry, Jeff.
And my hand job monkey knows, oh, that's not the right person. The monkey knows to keep moving and come back to me. It's not the right scent. That's been marked by you.
Exactly.
Oh, I thought you meant because like the girl's like, I don't know if we're dating yet. She's like, well, has he peed on you? It's like,
I want to change my answer from earlier to pee on the monkey.
With this piss, I ask, will you be my lovely wedded wife forever? No. For me, I mean, you nailed it. Piece of shit is.
How did you propose? I don't know. I shit on her chest.
For me, the piece of shit in this story is anybody who's mad. If you think Lauren Boebert's the worst and MAGA's the absolute worst, how do you think you're going to possibly influence them to come back to the middle in your mind? By never talking to someone who doesn't share your political beliefs? Or how about by hanging out with one of the coolest people, literally one of the coolest people of all time, 50 Cent? You know what I mean? I just, anytime you get angry where you're like, you can't hang out with them, it's like, that's not how we solve our problems. That just furthers the divide. What, is 50 supposed to come out and shoot Trump 9 times? No, like, they move on, they make friends. So for me, it's anybody who's pissed off. Pat, I couldn't agree with you more. 50 Cent for president, he would solve this problem.
Well, at least vice president. I won't make him be the top guy. If he has to go in there, fine. But let him do his shit on the low. Let him be back there. Let Trump still talk his shit.
No. I want the shit to be popping off with Putin, and I want Trump to do what he did.
No, but eventually, once Trump, let him do his one more run. I like Trump 50 on the bill because then 50 can choose a vice president, and that can be fun too.
Okay, that could be fun. I just like the idea of Putin popping off and then fucking 50 handing him a dossier like he did with DJ Khaled, where he's like, hey, Putin, this is where your mom works. These are my boys hanging out at her work while she's sleeping. Here's a picture of you and your mom. What are you going to do about it now, Vladimir?
Putin pop is that thing that Bill Cosby used to sell on TV, right?
Putin pops to help her take away an own independent country away from its own sovereignty. As I would do it.
Oh no! Now we're gonna get canceled because Jeff's doing black voice. We've never done that in the show before.
Should have sold pea pops. Chelsea Handler would have loved those.
So, Jeff, you don't know, I have a good buddy named Dion. Dion is a guy who drives me a lot of shows and stuff like that. He's around comedy all the time. Dion's also a guy who peruses the internet all the time, pays attention to the shows. We have a guy who watches our shows here, a great guy, Terry Nee, who's become like our ace reporter and does stuff. But Dion's the original Terry Nee, where he'll just send us a thing when he's watching the shows. So as I was doing my last story before that one, talking about the senior assassins, he goes, "Don't you know how close it is to home, Pat?" Sends me this story. Senior assassin game in Trumbull, Connecticut should not alarm members of the community, police say. Local police said they received reports earlier this week that a teen was seen hiding in a bush with a firearm, but it turned out he was just playing a game. The game, Senior Assassin, is played by high school students and involves shooting other students with a water gun, according to police. Students also may use Nerf guns and other types of toy guns for the game. An investigation into the incident Tuesday determined the teen was playing the game and only had a water gun, police said. Though it may just be a game, police said maybe they shouldn't do that and maybe not be trespassing on property with things that look like real guns. Police treat every call seriously and urge those to please stop playing this game. We would like to remind the community that the sight of any firearm may still instill fear in people, and you may get bad results. And it goes on and on about, also on Tuesday morning, state police charged 2 juveniles with breach of peace in connection with a student-organized game in Old Lyme, Connecticut, that the juveniles were playing the assassin game as well. So, who's the piece of shit in this story? Is it Dion for making us continue the story about senior assassins? We wanted to move on. We had peeing now. Is it Kansas? Bobby, you said before about people handling their business. Sounds like Connecticut nips this shit in the bud. They come out right away and go, we arrested 2 motherfuckers in Old Lyme. We found the kid in a goddamn bush. In Kansas, they're just at Walmart in public, firing away at people like lunatics. In Connecticut, there's fear from the police so much. Motherfuckers, even in a game, are hiding in a bush. They're fucking on the lam. They're running away. Is it who's ever invented this game? Dude, this is nuts. This game on paper is crazy. If you said to me right away, dude, it's fun. It's cool. It's just kid stuff. We pretend we have guns and we assault people. We yell out we're assassins. Jesus Christ. Have you heard of school shootings? Not the right time. You know what I mean? It's not the thing you shouldn't be doing this, right? That'd be like if you were at an all Jewish school and you played a game where it's called Jewish Roundup and everybody just ran around and just goes, let's just grab 5 or 6, throw them in a car and put them in a cage. It's fun. No, there's history to shit. Maybe you shouldn't do a game that leads into history a little bit. Who's the piece of shit? Bobby, go ahead.
For me, it's Jason Biggs. We have a simple solution. You know what doesn't look like a gun? Your penis. That's
Jason Biggs, not so
people.
Big dick. I didn't see any dick in that at all.
Me neither. You just piss on people. That's how you assassinate them. Cops go, wait, are you? You go, no, we're just playing the assassin game. I pee on them. They go, oh, we remember that from kids.
Pissassin.
Yeah, just pee on people.
Assassin's Creed. Kansas.
The worst game ever.
A high school teenage girl was found squatting over a balcony in a game called The Assassin.
Tara Reid's mouth is open, waiting for sequel. Jeff, who's the piece of shit?
Can Chelsea handle this new game?
The piece of shit. Sorry.
No,
Piece of shit is definitely Kansas. Because
yeah,
if you can handle the situation like adults and just be like, hey, this is a dumb game, it's kid, just watch out for kids with toy guns, don't worry about it. Most people will be okay. And you pretty much have to find a guy named Ruben Marcus Contreras to not be okay with it. He was born in
RMC.
He's the new RMC, that's right.
He's tremendous. Yeah, the piece of shit is the kid in the bush. The fuck are you doing? It's not. First of all, that means he was alone. In all the other stories we've read in Kansas, 2 kids. One said he didn't shoot it, but it was 2 friends going around being dickheads together. So even if it's awful, even if it's misconstrued, even if it's like it took it too far, you understand, we're all men here, when you were teenagers, another friend would egg you on and fucking instigate you, peer pressure, shit like that. In the other story, they said they're in Old Lyme, Connecticut. 2 friends, 2 kids were doing the game and they had to be arrested because they were getting crazy. Guy alone in the bush is a different fucking story. When you're guy alone in the bush with a gun, you are not playing a game anymore. And you're setting precedent for other men to be in a bush going, I'm just playing the game, as they're staring up women's skirts and shit. Get out of the bush. Never be in the bush. Stay away from the bush. No bush. Just like my sex, no bush.
Yeah, we know he stands on Bush.
Fuck Bush. Don't fuck Bush.
Trim it
It's
first.
thorny.
Ah, Kevin, with the line I should have said, he should have trimmed that bush. God damn it, trim the bush. Clean up your hedges, Jeff. Oh no, not no. Dion says it's me. You could definitely piss in a bush. What the fuck, Dion?
Yeah, I gotta agree. I think you should pee in a bush. That's how we got George W.
All right, I don't think I'm gonna run by the title of this, and then you two have to do a real vote, and maybe we'll also let the people in there vote real quickly. Dion just sent me another story, and I'll just read the headline, and then you guys say if this is what we should cover. Okay?
Can I, before you even read it, it's Dion, so I'm going to say yes. I know how many army guns he has.
This is so disgusting. Massachusetts teacher who held mock slave auction with students of color and used N-word in 5th grade class on paid leave.
Why is it paid leave? What the fuck?
Well, what are they going to do? Make him be a slave, Jeff? Work for free?
That's true. That's true. That would be in poor taste. They had to pay her for her work. Otherwise, what are we talking about?
All right, so Jeff, you get the first vote.
I'll be back.
Jeff, you get the first vote. Do we do the story or no?
Sure.
Bobby?
I'm going to say yeah.
All right, I don't think we...
I don't know if we can get past the title. Like, I don't know if there's going to be more to it than that, if that makes any sense.
I'd like to hear about the game.
I mean, I'm not going to stop you. I'm
Because in my mind, if you're playing that game, are you assigning the roles in the game to the proper people?
Well, it said she used the N-word. Clearly, she just was going, owner, bleep, owner,
Okay,
bleep.
I know you saw N-word, but I also saw mock slave auction.
Okay.
Which means, what if they really chose the proper people? You've got to flip it. Right? Even before we read this, it's got to be white people being auctioned, right? Right?
Has to be.
I see. Here's the thing. I don't know. Do you want to be historically accurate? We have a lot of reenactors in Gettysburg. I know which side certain people fight for.
Well, if you're historically accurate, there isn't a woman in charge of anything.
I mean, fair point, Oates.
By the way,
I
we
think
keep
that's the
saying
real
it's
piece
a
of shit of
woman.
the story. The school
By the way,
board.
we keep saying it's a woman. Never in that title does it say this was a female teacher.
Yeah, I assumed it was a dude, to be honest, because it seems like a gangster idea.
Yeah, I was like, Jeff and I just went to that's a lady thing.
Did you see what
Yeah, these
Terry wrote?
bronze.
What?
Did you see what Terry put on?
Yes, I did. Good morning, Terry.
Welcome aboard, Ace reporter Terry Nee.
Happy you're here for this one. Good thing you popped in. So, let's do the story. Massachusetts school officials are investigating a 5th grade teacher who held a mock slave auction in class that involved students of color and said the N-word while reading a book that didn't contain it. So they just added the N-word.
N-word Harry Potter. My friend, N-word John.
It's like, you know what? We changed his name. We don't even say Jim. We just say the N-word. There's no point. There wasn't another one here.
They say it twice. My friend, N-word, N-word.
There's a hyphen in between. Bobby, did you just hear that part of it?
Oh, I heard it.
Okay. Gregory Martineau, the superintendent of the public schools of Northborough and Southborough, sent parents a letter explaining 2 incidents involving an unidentified teacher at Margaret A. Neary schools. They didn't identify the teacher. The first incident happened in January during a lesson of the economy of Southern colonies, which included slavery, according to the letter. At some point, while slave auctions were being discussed, the teacher held an impromptu auction. The educator asked 2 children sitting in front of the room who were of color to stand up, and the educator in class discussed physical attributes, i.e., teeth and strength, the letter states. Then in April, dude, imagine that you're a teenage kid and now everyone gets to break down your teeth.
Oh my god.
That might be the worst part.
That's all. Then in April, During a reading of the 2018 novel The Parker Inheritance, the same teacher used the N-word. Martineau said the book wasn't approved by the curriculum and doesn't contain the N-word, but the teacher said it anyway. In his defense, maybe he was just trying to put emphasis. A lot of black comics do that. At the end, they're like, yo, and that was my sandwich, N-word, and it makes it better. You're like, oh yeah, that was his sandwich. You know what I mean?
N-word.
School officials allowed parents and the students in class when the auction was staged and the slur was said to meet with the educator. The objective was to be transparent with families and take responsibility for mistakes. The day after that meeting, the teacher told administrators which student reported him for using the N-word, which the district said was unacceptable. The teacher remains on paid administrative leave while officials investigate both incidents. The school system also placed the school's principal, Kathleen Valenti, on a 10-day paid administrative leave, which ended May 16th. Martineau said the district plans to employ several measures to improve cultural competency. One parent, who was also a teacher, said her child came home that day and said the N-word and told her what happened. Like the kid's like, N-word. They're like, what? No, I learned that at school today. N-word. I'm hoping she just kept saying it. When's dinner ready, N-word? Did you do your homework? Of course I did. What am I, an N-word? Like, okay. Relax. Hey, you know what, Mom? Show me them teeth. Let's see how much you're worth.
Honey, we're going to friendlies. Oh, what? Now you're N-word rich?
We take what? Now you're gonna order the fisherman jig? Because that sounds racist too. Never was I expecting the N-word to come out of his mouth. Megan Cifuentes, here we go. It's Megan Cifuentes told the outlet, if you're going to use that word with 10 and 11-year-olds, there needs to be a heavy discussion of what the word is, why it was used, and what it means, some background information. It's unacceptable, another parent told the news. I mean, the point of this is what? That it wasn't, if it's not even in the book, why are they saying the word? The parent said. This was so disgusting, and now I wonder if my daughter dealt with this in school when she was there. One parent wrote on Facebook. So now it's just some other idiot going, oh, my kid went there 30 years ago. Shut up. You're a whore. Anyway, I'm sorry. Maybe I should have yelled at that lady. The public schools of Northborough and Southborough are composed of 3 districts. Northborough, Southborough, and Northborough, Southborough. Dude, that's real. The 3 districts are Northborough, Southborough, and then a hyphenated Northborough, Southborough. You know they can't look? West.
Yeah, because they'll crash the heavy spark.
Southborough serves more. Okay, it just gives it the district. I think it's going to tell us that some people are black, white, whatever. I don't give a shit. News of these incidents at Neary come just a few months after 6 middle school students at another Massachusetts school in the town of Southwick were charged after staging a mock slave auction in a Snapchat group in which they bullied their black peers. But that was teens being teens. I'm not saying it's right or it should be done, but that wasn't the teacher. By the way, Terry, I don't know if this is the point you want to stand on, my friend. I'm sorry, wrong thing. Fired for history. Like that's not why they were fired.
That is not it.
Because it says there, I don't think they fired him because of the auction. The auction was held. They were there for another month. Then when they just they improv words into a book. Today we're reading Dr. Seuss, Cat in the N-word hat. It's like, oh no. So who is the piece of shit in the story? Is this his teacher? Hey, listen, when I went to school, if we did some hands-on stuff, if we pretended we were part of history, I might have done better in school. This teacher was trying to be interactive. He was trying to get the kids being involved. Now Terry thinks they're also fired for using English, but I don't know if that's the reason why they're fired as well, Terry. Is it this teacher for just trying to get the kids more involved? And like you said, being accurate in that nature and making them understand the pains. Hey, if you really want to understand what slavery was and how terrible it was, you put someone, I don't know if you do it to the student, maybe you have the teacher have someone else come in and do it because it's going to cause bullying, but to put people up there and make fun of them for auction, by doing that, you understand the pains. I don't know why they use the N-word. Maybe because the teacher was trying to be hip and cool. Maybe because a lot of kids say it, and he's like, I'll say the slang you guys say. We don't know. The major part is we are not being told the ethnicity of the teacher, because that does change everything. And I hate to say it, if it is an African American teacher, I don't even think it's a story. So I'm guessing it's a white teacher.
Gotta be.
Kevin also believes maybe they were fired for the chains in him.
Unfortunately, one of the children's names was Toby.
Yes. Well, no, it's not. It's Kunta Kinte. No,
that was the point of contention between them.
As we said on the show the other day, no, it's not. It's LeVar Burton, because that's who it was. The guy from Reading Rainbow was in Roots. Anyway,
hell yeah.
So is it this teacher for trying to teach? Is it the student who went home and told his parents, and the parents called and got all this in trouble? Listen, this was a fun day of school. You know what? It's offensive. It's wrong. It's all that. But man, would I be pissed if we went back to just reading regular books. After a day like that, after a month like that, you don't want to go back to just doing math. No way. I want to see what else is next. Are we going to learn about meth labs and have our own? What else are we going to do? Are we going to do the Titanic and get on a boat and some kids are going to die? I want to see where this teacher goes. I want to know what else they say. Are they going to read a book and just say the word chink for no reason? What else is going to fucking happen? Let this happen. Let it continue. You're not thinking about the stories you're going to have years later. But, you know, when you went to school, did you like school? I go, I didn't like school for a long time, but I had one teacher who really inspired me. Oh, really? What'd they do? And then you say this, you're like, holy shit, that's the greatest teacher of all times. Is it the school? For like Jeff said at the beginning, paid leave. That's a little weird. I know they have a union, and I know you're like, we're still looking into it. You want to prove something, you don't pay them when they're on leave. You just go, hey, dude, take a couple weeks off. Sorry, we can't pay you. Because if this they're fired. There's no coming back from this. There's just because it's news, all that, you can't come back and teach. You could be a gym teacher now. You definitely can be a gym teacher now. You can keep your job at the school, but you can't teach anymore. Who's the piece of shit in the story? Bobby, why don't you take this one first?
So it's the teacher. It's not for the reasons you said, though. Let's start with the fact that this happened in Massachusetts. I'm guessing it's not the first time the N-word's been thrown around at certain people. They tend to really not like their, minorities in that part of town. It's also like, it's the vernacular. Like you said, if you're teaching it in inner city school, you're hearing it all the time. Hearing the story just reminded me, you ever seen this clip from the Boondocks?
Yes.
I know what you're talking about.
Can we play it?
Yep. It's ready to go.
No. I meant like, there was a time you played Something It's Always Sunny and we got like struck on that. So can we play it?
I see people doing it. As long as we talk, we should be fine.
I don't understand is that if it's so offensive to them, then why do they
Just
say it
muted it. Can you
over
guys
and
hear it?
over again?
So
Oh, you
Riley
definitely can hear
said
it.
the N-word before you did
Yeah.
that morning.
He says it every morning. He calls me nigga. He calls the other kids nigga.
He's
He
Bob.
calls himself nigga. All the
He
time.
goes,
Nigga this,
all
nigga
right,
that.
cool.
Nigga, please. Bitch, nigga.
I thought you had a bleeped version of the fucking thing.
Why did you think I found a bleep version? Why would I find
Why would you not have the bleep version?
You can have that.
I found it
word
very
as long as you're
educational.
not saying it.
Bobby,
I found
I
it very
poke the
educational.
tiger of a fucking certain stuttering asshole all the time, and all he does is look for things to strike channels.
Well,
All right, Jeff, who's the piece of shit in this story? Is it Bobby? Is it Bobby? Or is it Bobby?
if we
Dude,
were
Bobby
to
for playing
explore-
that clip.
Yes.
And the school board. The school board, because they said that it started in the beginning of the article with the first incident happened in, and I was like, first incident? So this is twice now, at least, that we know of, and this is still a paid leave of absence. What are we investigating still? It happened.
By the way, Bobby, so you know, Kish is my ears, my virgin ears, and then Kevin saying it was a nice channel while it lasted.
What do you mean about that? I don't understand. If they get rid of us, do we get to sing a bunch of songs about "We shall overcome" and all that stuff? No.
No, we don't get to sing. That's the problem with
We
our
don't
skin.
get to
We
sing.
get no song.
See, Pat, it feels like we're being judged not by the content of our character, rather the color of our skin. And I just thought that's what certain people didn't like. I'm just throwing that out there. If we get struck, it's pretty racist.
Bob, I mean, Terry agrees with you. He has a friend in that
It's
place,
pretty good.
Niger. It's in Africa. I think it's pronounced differently, and I think it was a different dialect there, but
But
you
the
know,
point
it is
the
what
book was
it is.
making is like the minute you do something like this, you give a word power. Like that's you know, he was teaching a lesson. It probably got a little out of hand. The reason the teacher's the piece of shit though is I've had a teacher named Mrs. Ravis who made us read all these books about the Holocaust and how bad it was and how, you know, there were these resistance groups. And now as an adult, what do? I find myself constantly stuck in a situation where I'm helping out the Jewish community because I went in 8th grade. You're wrong, Mrs. Ravis. I would have helped. So this guy's going to set up a bunch of social justice warriors. His plan's going to backfire. And Kish, you're mine as well, buddy. I love you.
Jesus Christ, Kish.
Morning, Brandon. Enjoy it while it's here.
real quick, Bobby, on what you said there. I do, in all seriousness, I do agree 100% about putting power on words and stuff like that. B. Lee, what's up, buddy? We gotta have you back on soon, man. I do believe in that. Word has power only because we put it on there. That being said, if you're gonna teach the lesson with the word, read a book with the actual word in it. So therefore you can say why that word is in there and why it has power. To just add the word, you're not doing power. You're literally saying it's just a fun, you're calling it salt and pepper at this point. It's a fun seasoning to this book. We're just going to toss this in here and see what happens. This guy just wanted to say the N-word.
Well, I mean, in his defense, what was the book he inserted into? Was there a character named Jim?
No, we brought that up. No, they brought this up. The book has nothing to do with that whatsoever.
Right, but he just could have been confused, right? If he'd been reading Huck Finn for a while and there was a character named Jim, it slips off the tongue.
And as you took your break for a second, Jeff and I discussed how they might eliminate the word Jim and just call him the N-word twice. That'd be a better book.
I mean, talk about fucking Pulitzer Prize winner Pat Oates.
Jeff and I co-wrote that one, just so you know. So he gets ghostwriting in that one.
I need an EP credit on that. Something.
You do. Congratulations.
Residuals.
And guess what you win? A mock auction. Look at your teeth.
Let me see the teeth. Come on.
Do you think
wider? Do this thing. Fish it up. Like, I got to see the inside parts.
I kind of want to see what it was like for the mom to be like, well, what were you doing when he called you that? Like, how were you were you acting bad? Like, just as the layers got removed to find out there was a slave auction at school that day.
Kevin announcing, I just lost my comics gigs.
We didn't do anything. I don't understand. If I played a rap song, would we be in trouble?
Yeah, we would. 3 white men. Yep.
We didn't say it. We just listened to rap.
But we've done enough.
No, we haven't.
Let's get back onto Nazis and Kirk and all that.
Yeah, Kirk Heinrich. That's our wheelhouse.
Kirk Heinrich. Yeah, man.
Yeah, and I know, Terry, yes, that is okay, but I don't think Bobby could find the clip from the cartoon he wanted to show us where they said Newport instead. No, Terry, I'm not posting that one. And we can't say that one. I'll post most things. No, Terry, we can't say the thing in the comments if anyone wants to read the comments. No.
I honestly don't think it was that bad, though.
What Terry just wrote?
No, what Terry wrote was bad.
Okay. No, Terry. No, Terry. Bad Terry.
Very easy.
Now we know what the knee stands for in Terry knee.
On the neck.
No, I meant with the hyphenated gar.
Oh, even better. Oh, God. All right.
Real quick, Bobby and Jeff. Bobby, why don't you direct Jeff on how to do his plugs quick? I'll be back in 1 second. Do all that kind of thing. Quickly.
Sounds good. Jeff, what plugs do you have? That's what we just typically do now while we all run and do a quick bathroom break. Got any big dates coming up?
June 11th, I'll be at Hotel Vernon, and Nate Hilly will be headlining for me.
Ooh.
I'm running that show. It'll be at 8 o'clock at night. Doors at 7:30. And June 20th, I'll be at Mohegan Sun in the final round of that competition Pat had mentioned earlier at Comics Roadhouse. And
Fun show.
on June 25th, I will be back at Hotel Vernon with Shipwreck Comedy and Matt Sloan and all the boys. Brianna
Oh, yeah.
Woodward will be there. Should be a great show.
Sounds like 3 great opportunities to see Jeff. I know we just met, but if this is any indication, those are all gonna be very funny shows. You're a very funny comic. And Pat
Thanks, man.
typically doesn't enjoy people who do the contest. So the fact that he's like, this is Jeff, and he did the contest, I was like, oh, Jeff must be very funny. Pat and I, you can see August 8th through the 11th. He's recording his album at that same Comics Mohegan Sun. You can see Jeff at June 20th. If you want to see me, if apparently playing a clip that's been on the internet for 40 years has got us demonetized, Jesus Christ. But we'll be there the 8th through the 11th. If not, we'll be recording at Wethersfield, Massachusetts, if the comics gig goes away, because at least they love what we had to say. I am at the Soho Playhouse for Dead Casket Comedy the 14th. I'm at the EMA Theater the 15th if you want to see me. But most importantly, get tickets to Pat's album taping and get on the Patreon.
Kish also agreeing. Yeah, Kish, I think it's going to have to be a secret show now. I'll call it me and see what I can do.
I saw they're doing one last one this summer. I wonder if I get the invite. Pat, why don't you give some plugs? Why also?
I don't think you're going to get the invite. I don't think I'm going to get the invite, but I miss those guys. They're great. Please hit like and subscribe. We appreciate you guys always watching the show. That helps us out a lot. It also helps us out too is if you hit share. It's easy. It's a little arrow there. Most people don't do that, but we like when you do that. You put it in your news feeds anywhere you are, on Twitter or X, whatever you call it now. Anywhere you put it, Facebook, wherever you're sharing stuff, share it there. People see it in your news feed. They go, "What's this?" And they check it out. It's a fun morning show. So check that out. See, and then look at Kish already doing jokes about you. Jeff, he's saying that Jeff is proving that comedy is blind and hilarious. So there you go. That's your new bumper sticker. It's like, I think you're saying should not be that. You're saying should be, well, at least I'm not Matt Sloan. That should be the saying that you have always. That would work out very well.
Or Matty Pat.
Matt's your buddy. We've had Matt on the show. We're going to have Matt back on. B. Lee is in here too, man. Can't wait to have you back on, my friend. Yeah, you're a really funny guy. So we'll talk with them soon. Jeff, we're going to love having you back on. Great job so far today. We're going to keep you on. If you can stay on for a little while longer, probably do another half hour. That's about it.
Sure.
We also we have going on our Patreon, by the way. If you're not subscribed to that yet, please do that. We do our Thursday exclusive Patreon show called Thursday Thoughts. We take one of our stories from the week and we deep dive into that. This week we chose the story we did earlier in the week where allegedly Diddy, with his gay parties for the people that want to be closeted and go there and have sex, Justin Bieber and Odell Beckham Jr. were there, and that supposedly, allegedly, and had sex with each other. That is that really devastated a lot of people because a lot of athletes love Odell Beckham Jr. and they're homophobes. So they're like, "How? No, he can't be gay." It devastated me. And same thing with Bieber. A lot of young girls are like, "No, he's supposed to marry me, not suck black dick." You know what I mean? So it's like, what am I supposed to do? So our whole deep dive was all about what other celebrities, if hiding something and lived a lie, and you found out where they were living the lie, would disappoint you. And we went down this fun rabbit hole, all kinds of different stuff. The one normal one we brought up, the one that really did bother people, that wasn't really the joke thing, but kind of set the tone, was Bob Saget. When everyone thought of him as Danny Tanner, and people didn't know about his stand-up, a lot of people, once they went to go see him do stand-up and saw he was this awful, filthy thing, it disappointed a lot of people who thought one thing and then felt like he was let down. You know what I mean? Does Jeff know that he is black? I don't know, Scott. I don't know if Jeff knows yet. I didn't want to tell him. But I don't think he's so blind that he doesn't know that people are saying racial slurs to him. So I think he would have figured it out.
Chappelle wrote a skit about me back in the day.
It was nice of him to do so. You didn't see
Blind Klansman in reverse.
If he's blind, you need to read him my questions, right? Yes, that's why I'm reading them.
That's what just happened.
He's blind, but he got I think he understood what we were talking about. Jeff, were you able to see any of the comments?
I couldn't see the comments, no, but I saw the clip.
One of the comments that he put there that I could not read. Are you familiar with the country of Africa?
The continent, yeah.
Yes, the continent. I'm sorry. The continent. See, you're smarter than me. You should be teaching auctions. Anyway, do you know what the in some of the tribes there? Do you know what the weapon of choice is with some of those tribes?
Spear?
Yes. And if you were someone that was going to throw that, or maybe use a different word, put those two things together, that's what he said we should use as the words instead. That's the thing I wasn't going to read. So I got around the law, Terry. Stop telling me he just wrote, it's the law, Pat. You have to, Bobby, just, Terry's making a great point that we have to, because of the Handicap Act and Blind Act, we have to read all his questions to Jeff because he has to be allowed to know them. So I just skated around and we played the game of guess what he said.
Happy to be of service.
Oh, that sounds like I missed a great bit. I apologize, Terry.
Just put right into it. If he's blind, you need to read him my questions. American disabilities law. Okay. And also, Scott Fitzpatrick did ask Jeff if he knows if he's black. If he's black.
I saw that. I figured that was coming. That was good.
All right. Jeff's going to stay with us for a little bit more, Bobby, so we'll wrap it up about like 25 minutes. Do you have another one, or do you want me to go?
Do you mind going? I do have one more, but let's see if yours is better. I did mine in strongest order.
I've got another kind of heated one, but we've been in that route, so why don't we just go with it? You know what I mean? And this one is a Connecticut-based one here. A Democrat-led Connecticut town council refuses to fly the thin blue line flag for a trooper who was killed in the line of duty, but they are flying the LGBTQ flag half-mast. A largely Democratic Connecticut town council has sparked controversy as it refused to fly the thin blue line flag for a state trooper killed in the line of duty last week. The Wethersfield Town Council voted down the request to raise the flag, traditionally flown to support police, claiming that to some people it represents divisiveness and racism. Council member Rich Bailey suggested the town raise the thin blue line flag over the town hall in honor of the Connecticut trooper Aaron Pelletier, who was killed by a hit-and-run driver during a traffic stop last week. But the measure did not get enough votes to pass at Tuesday's council meeting, with 3 in favor, 5 against, and 1 abstention. The council is made up of 6 Democrats and 3 Republicans. Instead, the LGBTQ pride flag, which was already raised for Pride Month, the month of June, and other flags like the American flag and the state flag were flown at half-mast. All we were doing is trying to represent a fallen police officer. In my home, the thin blue line flag means police, and they protect us, and they are our first line of defense, he added. They always are, and they're always here, and they're always here for us. But other council members said the flag has taken on new meanings in recent years. Jeff loving the fact that the cops are here for us. They're for us.
One time I had a boy in my bush who was going to shoot my daughter, and the cop showed up and made sure it was okay.
You combine too many stories right there. It represents racism and antagonism to many people. A woman told the local news, if you don't personally believe that you can fly your own at home and you think it means something to you, that's just much more positive, but that's just not how many people feel about it. It's not appropriate to raise it over our town hall, especially when our flag policy prohibits us from doing anything associated with hate. Wethersfield Mayor Ken Lesser, who was among the no votes, said that they have offered an alternative option to the thin blue line flag, the first responders flag, in order to honor the fallen trooper. The first responders flag recognizes all the first responders, police, fire, emergency management. The blue line flag was designed for police officers, and it goes back over 100 years, but now has been used by white supremacists, and many police groups have disavowed the flag. Bailey, who's a retired fire chief and whose father was a police officer, wouldn't accept the first responders flag as a replacement. Pelletier, the trooper who was killed by allegedly drugged-up driver, was laid to rest Wednesday with thousands in attendance at his funeral service. His widow and mother of his 2 young sons gave I'm sorry, I shouldn't have read that wrong. A tearful tribute. I did not mean disrespect. It was not terrible. It was tearful. I fucking just jumped over. That's my bad. To her husband at the ceremony. To my honey, you weren't just my husband. You were my home. You were my heart. You were my safe place, my provider, my best friend, my secret keeper, my favorite gossiper. She goes into the whole thing. She loves you. She misses you. All that stuff. Who's the piece of shit in the story? Is it the town for even doing a vote with this? I get it. You're worried. You're weirdly worried about perception and things of that nature. But if you're worried about perception and things of that nature and people feeling one way, then why can you fly an LGBTQ flag? I get it if you weren't flying an LGBTQ flag. If you were just flying the 2 flags that you're supposed to fly in a town, the state one and then America's flag, then I understand this 100%. Sorry, we don't fly other flags. But if you're now acting like a crazy white mom who's like, it's autumn, I'll put my autumn flag up. Or like, here's my Easter flag every 2 weeks in their fucking house. And you're just going to put a flag up. Guess what else is a division flag? One that stands for just people's choice and sexuality. That's a huge divider in this country as well. Why are you placating one group but not placating another? If you're going to do it, fly them both. Yes, LGBTQ flag does represent a lot of great things, but to a lot of people, it doesn't represent a lot of great things. The same way you're saying with the thin blue flag one. If you're saying that, oh, some white supremacists grabbed that thing, yeah, okay, it can also mean that. But most people think of it as the police. So if they have two different meanings, guess what else is controversial all around the world? The U.S. flag. It gets burned everywhere. Now, a lot of people aren't fans of us, but you're still flying it, right? Connecticut flag. People hate taxes. They hate our highways. It shouldn't be flown either. How about this? You know what's gayer than fucking being gay? Flags. Flags are gay as fuck. You're just holding the flag in the air. There's nothing gayer than going, look at me, I'm a thing. Fuck you. No flags. Video. It's 2024. Put videos up of shit. What are we doing? Holograms or something. Make two space people fuck or something like that and go, oh, that's gay. Do that in front of their thing. Is it anybody who voted no for this? What the fuck? Voting no on it. How about the one guy who's not going to be a piece of shit? The one who abstained from voting. That's what y'all should have done. That's the smartest man in the world. If you're worried about shit, nope, not touching this one. Not with a 10-foot goddamn pole. Who's the piece of shit in this story? Bobby, go ahead.
So, for starters, I think flying a LGBTQ flag at City Hall is a little redundant because I think that's where all the fags work.
Jesus Christ.
Jesus.
And there goes my radio gig. Everything just keeps falling off the air. The comedy is radio.
Whoa, no. If you were to bury me today, it would be an American flag. Like, I'm an American first. I get that, yeah, it may cause some issues overseas, but like, we lost sight of that along the way somewhere. We went through the period where we were like, don't divide us into groups and stereotype, and then went instantly back to dividing people into groups and stereotyping. Like, when we lost the idea that you're an American, yes, you're a cop and you gave your life in the line of duty for the state of Connecticut and American people. Like, those are the flags that should be up. I get that you want to have the Blue Lives Matter flag, but in this instance, maybe a Blue Lives Splatter flag would have been more accurate. Because
Jesus fucking Christ. Fucking dude. We had one group behind us, and it was the police. Like, that's all we've had.
I love the cops, but in this instance,
Holy
like, come on.
Shit. Jeff, please, goddammit, who's the piece of shit?
I didn't say who my piece of shit was.
Yeah, I think you did, dude. It's you.
The piece of shit is everybody involved that's arguing and upset about it because the solution seems simple to me. Get another fucking flagpole. Every time somebody bitches, how much does it cost to put up another flagpole until the entire front lawn of City Hall is covered in flagpoles and everybody gets a new flag? Whatever the fuck flag you want. Flags are gay and pointless. I agree.
Bobby, who's your piece of shit?
No, the guy who shot the cop. Like,
Of course.
He didn't shoot him. He hit him with his car. He was a drunk driver.
but that's my point. Like, somebody ran over, and that's what's lost in this story is it's become a fight over flags instead of realizing that somebody lost their life. Regardless of how you feel about the cops, a human being, the mother's giving a terrible eulogy, as Pat said. You know.
By the way,
somebody
I'm getting mad at you, but my girlfriend just texted me and goes, "Blue lives splatter. Holy fucking shit, that's funny." So I can't get too mad at you, dude.
It was good.
It's fucking great.
Saved by the old girlfriend.
Oh, believe me, Bobby, I want to make it the title of our thumbnail, but I'm so afraid. But we'll get views.
This is the episode.
Dude, I know. It's like It's cool that Jeff could be on our last show.
I was glad to send you guys off well.
But dude, you're killing it out here. But okay, my piece of shit. First of all, I want to say, and I'm being serious for a second, dude. Rest in peace to the officer who died, man. That's horse shit. Fucking drunk driver hitting you like that. You lose somebody who's say what they want. You can say what you want about police officers. You can say you think this or that with all these views and thoughts. They take a job where the job is. We're here to protect and serve. I would never do that in my fucking life. That's not who I am. I wish I was that kind of guy. It's not who I am. It's awesome that you're that person. I respect the shit out of anybody. Fire, you know that. My nephew is involved in the fire departments. I have family members and stuff like that. I have family in the military. It's not who I am, but I'm awesome that there are those people in the world that choose to do those things. We need them. We do. I don't think anybody, I don't like the narrative in Connecticut, because I've been hearing the story more, is that it's not having respect. I don't think the people that are flying the LGBTQ flag, the people at the building, the people that are the governing bodies, are doing that in light of or against that. So I think they're doing it because they feel like they need to appease. And they don't put the other one up because they're getting heat, because the silent minority is always the one that's yelling and being loud. And they just want to keep their fucking politics. They don't want any headaches. I get it, but I don't get it, because you are the law. You are the people that, hey, guys, stop. You're allowed your voice, they're allowed their voice. I like Jeff's idea of more flagpoles. I don't think we need to have any flagpoles in that manner. When you lower, we don't need to have every flag being lower. One flag, the American flag, and then the Connecticut flag, we have those two. When they are lowered to half mast, they are lowered to half mast, and you know why. Someone passed away or died. Yes, you can put up a Blue Lives Matter flag if you would like to. I wouldn't have any issue with that whatsoever. I believe that that's the kind of flag that you should put up at this time, just so you understand why it happened. Because if it's at half mast, a lot of people do drive by things and go, oh, why is it at half mast? One time, years ago, me and my buddy were driving by a McDonald's, and we weren't going to go stop by it, but we saw that their flag was at half mast, and we hadn't heard anything in the news it would happen. And we went in there, and I ordered food because I wanted to ask what happened, because someone had to do it. And this guy goes, "Oh, the rope stuck." So they weren't doing it on purpose. He just couldn't get it up any higher, and then just left it. So everyone driving by like me probably is like, "Who died? Did Ronald McDonald die? Is Grimace deceased? What the fuck happened here?" So sometimes it can mess with your head and stuff like that. The piece of shit in this story is anyone who thinks that you shouldn't fly a flag for someone who died, but you should fly a flag for something that you want everyone to be on board with. You know what I mean? A guy passed away. It's not about the thought of the cops. It's about the cop who died and lost his life, and his family's alone and fucking in tears and all this shit. You want to fly listen, you want to be gay, be gay. You want to be straight, be straight. Nobody should give a fuck about who you fuck. But God damn it, your politics have nothing to do with it. You separate church and state, you separate politics and gay, all that shit and straight. Do not fly. We don't need an LGBTQ flag for the month of June. What the fuck flag are you flying in February? I'd like to know. What are you flying there? You're doing all the months? What are we doing? It's insane that you would do this. By God damn it, Terry Neese, stop. It's really one of these things where we don't need that flag up. And for people of that group to say, no, that police flag means that it's white supremacy, this and that. Hey, without those police officers, you don't get to protest, yell, and do all the fucking fun things you want to do. Without that laws that we have, that they were put in there so you can have freedom of speech and tell people, I like to fuck everybody sometimes. I'm a B. Yeah, you are a B. You're a fucking bitch. Shut the fuck up. Let flags go up. Have other things to worry about. Grow up. A guy lost his life. Let him fly the fucking flag. Who gives a fuck? There's kids that lost their fucking dad. They can go by there and they see that place and they go, "What, mom?" And your mom can say, "That's for your dad. Your dad was a hero, and that flag being low there means this and this, whatever." And they'll go, "Oh, was dad gay? Because that's the gay flag." It's like, no, dad wasn't gay. I mean, maybe for money, but no, I'm kidding. I don't know anything about the guy. What I'm saying is that it's ridiculous. This can't be the arguments we're having right now. It can't. This is too stupid. There's too many things there. Hey, government, stop appeasing people. Just fucking be a government. Focusing on the wrong goddamn things. Like I yell at young comics all the time when they're like, this comic doesn't like me, this booker doesn't like me, the audience is old, the audience is young. Hey, are your jokes any fucking good? No, they're not. Focus on your jokes and shut the fuck up. Hey, government, don't focus on all this goddamn shit. Can you just... Sorry, I just got a text from Frank and it said, are you available to talk? Or are you still doing a podcast with that shithead? God, he hates you. Oh.
Oh, man. I was worried you meant me at first. I was like, Frank doesn't like me?
No, Frank likes you, and he's excited to be... when I tell him you were on the show, he'll be happy. He doesn't watch because he fucking hates Bobby. Yeah, my piece of shit is anybody that gives a fuck about honoring a police officer when he died. Honor the guy's death. You're not honoring all... We're honoring all the people that have gay sex. We don't need to honor gay sex. Honor a man who died in a line of duty.
They're clapping for themselves and each other already. Quite literally.
Ass clapping.
An interesting comparison. Seeing the number of cops who died in the line of duty versus the number of gay people who died in the line of duty.
Line of booty.
Line of booty, exactly. HIV is what I was getting at.
No, Jeff, do not slide in line of booty. Fuck you. Blue Lives Splatter or line of booty. That's going to be the two titles, I guess, of the fucking show. So I deal on a somber note, but yeah, I'm sorry, but you honor those people that did that. That dude lost his life doing stuff for us. That job, you can say what you want about it. It's the dumbest argument in the world. That should have been voted unanimously. It shouldn't be a vote. It shouldn't even be a vote. Just go put the flag up, janitor. Go hire the guy from McDonald's who just doesn't know how to put the flag. Everything's a half mast all the time.
I also, part of me says it's the dad. Like, what's the issue with you going with the first responders flag? Like, I get that it's his son. Was it his son's last will and testimony to hang the Blue Lives Matter flag too? You know what I mean? Like, it seems like somebody was like, hey, we're trying to honor your son's death. This flag is causing a lot of an issue. We don't want that surrounding this. We're trying to honor your son's life. He, like you said, Pat, he chose to serve and protect and tragically lost his life. What if we do this so that way there's not anything going on? So I am curious about that too, because at the end of the day, you're right. Somebody died. We should honor their life regardless.
You know what? You make a great point. I think it depends on, and we'll never know this, how it was presented to the father. If they just put the flag up, if there was no talk of it, if they said, if the government, if the officials had to be like, hey, we're going to catch some shit if we put that flag up. Let's just fly the first offense, the first responders flag. Let's just put that one up. And you put it up, but you don't talk about it. You don't say it's because of this, that, whatever. You don't go to the father and go, hey, we're not going to fly this flag because of this, this, and this, and this. So we're replacing. Because now you're telling the father that the thing that should be done in your eyes isn't being done to appease other people when he lost his son. If they just put the flag up and they said, hey, just want you to know we have a flag flying half-mast. And then when the father sees the flag, if he wants to ask the question, oh, why did you go with that one? And like, we're honoring all the first responders. That's the flag that we've been flying for anyone that passes away, unfortunately, in the line of duty, and then you're covered. The simple fact that the father's upset means that these idiots went to him and said, hey, man, we got to fucking worry about the gay flag, and we can't offend people who think it's whites. Your wording is everything. It's not that you were lying, but there's no point in doing it. Just fucking fly the flag that you think is going to be fine if you have to fly flags. I'm mad that our taxpayers are going to flag meetings. There's a fucking meeting and votes on flags.
Yeah. I couldn't agree with you more.
Bunch of flaggers.
Jesus Christ. I think that's been said in the comments 83 times, but thank you, Jeff, for making sure, because you can't see, so you didn't steal it.
I technically didn't read him. I just wanted to get there.
No, I know that. And by the way, I'm just going to put it up because I haven't seen our friend Mr. Hands in the Pants in a long time here. So what's up, sir? He usually comments after the shows, but I went to a McDonald's where the flag was upside down. Also, the wallpaper inside was a bunch of paintings of island people and their mass dancing with spears. It was wicked, and this was in North Carolina. I'm like, oh my God. What's that? What is that motif? Why did they have island people dancing with spears at McDonald's?
We know what that teacher from Boston did in his retirement. He franchised in North Carolina.
By the way, Bobby, I'm about to put up our Husey winner of the day. Our Husey award. If you don't know, Jeff, we have an award we give out. We have a guy who watches a great podcast for himself, hilarious guy, Husey. He comes in, he says the craziest shit. We always ask you just don't say the one word, the Bobby word, we're calling it now.
I didn't
that's
say
it.
I played a
You
clip.
say, right, but you put in, you put your comment if it's so offensive that we could get in trouble, or it's just so funny that we don't care. And by the way, Ricky Smith, hello, my friend, how are you? But this one comes from a guy named 80s AIDS. And his thing is, Pride Month is my busiest time of the year. Ladies and gentlemen, that's our show.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Jeff, thank you so much. Please tell people where they can follow you again.
You can find me on Facebook, Jeff Labbe, Instagram, Jeff.Labbe. And this month, June 11th, I'll be at the Hotel Vernon. June 20th, I'll be at Comics Roadhouse for the finals of that competition you mentioned earlier. And June 25th, I'll be back at Hotel Vernon with Matt Sloan and Brianna Woodward and Shipwreck Comedy.
And those are all really funny people. I heard that before. What town is the Vernon in?
Oh, that's in
Hotel?
Worcester, Massachusetts. My bad.
Yeah, Worcester. So if you're in the
Also
Worcester, Massachusetts area, please go support that. There's some really funny guys over there. Some of the guys that we've had on before, Matt and all those guys, they're putting on good shit. Some of them aren't funny, like Johnny Rotten, but the rest of them are all really good, so go support them. Jeff is great. I'm kidding, Johnny. You're what you are. Whatever. I can't lie the whole time.
You said it.
Yeah, well, so he says it for 5-minute sets at a time. Anyway, but Jeff, and I Bobby, even though I was in the other room, I had the headphones on, and you're right. I don't always say that a lot. And Jeff knows that. When I saw him for the first time performing, I like what Jeff's doing. Jeff's going to be a very good comic. And he's got a good little group of guys. Him, Matt, they're good dudes. I'm happy they come on the show. Jeff, anytime you want to come back, please, dude. You were a lot of fun. You jumped right in. It was a good time.
Thank you very much.
We really appreciate it. And I like that you can't see the words we can see, because I wish that today I couldn't see anything. You know what I mean? It would have been really nice if I couldn't fucking see.
Yeah, a lot of those went over my head.
Oh, and our boy B. Lee also saying Vernon's got great shows, great lineups. We love B. Lee. When he's on here, he's fucking awesome too. Dude, a bunch of great group of dudes. To Ricky Smith, to B. Lee, to Terry Nee, our star of the day, and Mr. Hands in Your Pants, to 80s AIDS, to 80s AIDS is a great name. To Kish, to V, to everybody that's in there today. If I'm missing anybody, I'm sorry. Oh, Scotty, to all the people that were there today. Thank you guys so much for always being here and this and that. If you haven't hit like and subscribe, please do. This was a fun episode. If you guys do me a favor, anyone in your Twitter feeds, whatever like that, please post this one and go, dude, watch this. You know, like put the N, the not safe for work. We put the N and not safe for work, whatever, I guess, today's show. Whatever it would be. Whatever you want to put out there, please post and share this. We want people to know that you can have laughs in the morning and not have to be a goofy, cheesy, all clean morning show. And we're having fun. We're having a good time. We want more people to be on board. We appreciate you share it and you let people. What did we learn today, Terry? That maybe a couple weeks ago when I blocked V, I should have blocked you. No, I'm kidding. You're amazing. No, what we learned today is Bobby shouldn't have access to video updates. That's what it should be. That's what we learned. And we learned that blind people can see racism. We did. We learned that today. And we learned that if you really want to make a kid up, we learned that high school kids are mean, but it's our fault. We learned that high school kids, they're doing fun games. Why? Because we're letting it happen. We're shooting people with fake guns and stuff like that. Telling people how their teeth could get more money if they got bought. There's a lot of weird things going on with high school kids, and it seems to be us, the adults, doing that. So maybe we should stop talking to high school kids the same way you didn't want older people talking to you when you were a high school kid. Leave them the fuck alone. It's us that's fucked up. And by the way, once again, my heart goes out to the family of the Officer Pelletier and all that stuff. Like, that's awful what happened to him, dude. Your family, my heart goes out to you. And if I had a flag, I would lower it half mast, but I rent an apartment. They're not going to let me have a pole out front. If I put my pole out front, I'm going to jail anyway. So, Bobby, you got anything else you want to plug and promote and push?
Check out the Davy Mac Sports program. We're live every Sunday or Monday. Make sure you get tickets to Pat's album taping. That's where you can see me. We'll probably do a live POS at some point from the hotel, maybe at the middle of the slot machines. You never know, but make sure you come out to that. It'll be a lot of fun. I personally learned today, Terry, people get much angrier where you play a video with a white character voiced by a black guy saying the N-word than they do you watching Chelsea Handler get peed on. So that's what I've learned today. Turns out, of the two
Dude,
videos,
no
I
one
showed,
cares about
apparently that
Chelsea
was
Handler.
way more offensive was the black guy pretending to be white and saying,
Oh, and my bad. There's one more. It's the Husey runner-up of the day. We're doing the second one from Gay Monkey. It says, "Can I get Jeff's address?"
He found me.
He's trying. Thank you guys so much. And Bobby, let's kick it off.
Yep, if you're stuck at half mast, get Blue Chew using promo code POS right now.
What the fuck was today? Have a good